Hey everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, I know I'm off to the side because I'm not cool like Steve who has the slides effects and the cool the what do you call that? The Michael Bay explosions. Hey Steve, I see you there. So we are here to talk about Gen Con recap and how that went, what type of time that we had, and how that all plays itself out, right? So today, there's a couple things that we're going to run through. We're going to talk about Gen Con, my experience at Gen Con, and then we're going to do some giveaways. I have a few. This will be one game that I picked up at Gen Con, and I was like, I bought it purely for the sake of giving it away. Uh, well, now I'm adding more Michael Bay explosions, and the rest are promos. Like I'm giving away promos from previous Gen Cons and promos from this Gen Con. So we'll see how those go. So if you're interested in putting your name in the hat to win those promos that we'll do, I will put the link in the description for each time it's going to go. And I think there'll be, let's see, 5 giveaways during this stream as we're talking, so we'll just kind of pepper it throughout. Only put your name in if you are interested in doing it, not just to put your name down, because I found in previous giveaways, someone would win, they put their name in, win, and say, oh, I don't want that. It was like, then why did you put your name in? That makes zero sense. Sure. So the kind of goal of this and the purpose of this specific stream is to talk about Gen Con, right? Gen Con. Gen Con. But also do some giveaways because we're also celebrating the 4,000 subscriber milestone that we hit as well. It's bittersweet because usually the person who usually did the thumbnails for my streams was Kate, and unfortunately she passed away earlier this year. So it's just more, in celebration of her life, in celebration of Gen Con, in celebration of 4,000 subscribers, which I'm so super grateful for having known her, having been able to go to Gen Con, and having been able to be here for you all to play more board games. And 4,000 of you like me. that's that's 3,999 more than I thought that would. So I'm always appreciative. I'm always thankful. I'm always grateful. And I love you. So, all right, let's talk about Gen Con. So, where to begin? I don't have pictures for the ride up because I was driving. So my son and I, this is the first year my son and I went to Gen Con together. It was his first Gen Con. It's my third or fourth, one of the two. Hey Alexis, how's it going? So I asked him if he wanted to go. He was like, yeah, I love road trips with you and I want to go, he wants to hang out with dad. So we, I rented a car and we were driving. Now, I was supposed to split this trip up into 2 days because it's 10 hours to get there, right? From where I am. 10 hours to get to Gen Con. And that sounded awful. That sounded awful. I'm sure a good proportion of it would be pretty, but still it's 10 hours driving in a car. So I said I was going to split it up. I would end up stopping in Huntington, West Virginia, staying there overnight, and then finishing off the trip to get to Indianapolis. Hey Brian, how's it going? Good morning. So we started out in the morning. I left about 7, and I went a lot faster than the speed limit, but I was able to drive through and we reached Huntington, but I got there around noon. And it was more, okay, it's noon and I'm here. So should I just keep going or should we stay? And both of us just kind of looked at each other, was like, let's just power through it. So I canceled my reservation, was able to cancel my reservation at the hotel there. And we just got back on the road and we drove nonstop all the way into Indianapolis, and when I got there, my brain and eyes were mush. So we stayed at a hotel that was there, and so when I got a message from Alexis, who's in the Discord, saying, "Hey, she just got into town." It was early in the morning where she got it, like early in the morning the next day, and she's like, she got into town, but she was just kind of hanging out. and wasn't sure what to do. And she's like, "Well, I'll just stay here and wait until stuff opened up." So I saw that and I was like, "No, I'm gonna come pick you up." Besides, what can you do in Huntington, West Virginia? Driving through West Virginia is gorgeous. Like, it's mountains upon mountains upon mountains. I don't know if you've ever done it, but it is beautiful there to drive through. We drove, and it was rainy and overcast the entire time. I loved it. I love rainy and overcast. It wasn't too bright or just kind of heat baking down on you. It was just perfect for that drive through West Virginia. Um, but when we got Appalachian Mountains are beautiful. Yeah, it was gorgeous. Like, the one thing I didn't know is that there were toll roads. Like, I wasn't expecting the toll roads, but the drive was quite nice. It was pretty beautiful. I wish I had pictures, but I was driving, and I think my son took some, but I wasn't able to get them from him. Anyway, we in the morning when I saw that she posted that, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come pick you up." So we picked her up, and was driving around. We then I was supposed to pick Dan up from the airport because his flight was coming in and he was gonna Uber into town because it was Jess, Dan, Kim, and Steve. Me and my son all got an Airbnb. That's the largest that we could find, but that was the one that we chose to to go to, and Dan was flying in and he was going to Uber in, but I was like, "I'll pick you up from the airport. I don't care." So first, my son wanted to see around downtown Indy, and he wanted to go. We went to go pick up our badges. We went like super early. Alexis, I don't even remember what time we went there, but we went very early. It was open. They said that they opened earlier than expected because they were supposed to open at noon. So we were able to get our badges. And then we were like, okay, I was going to show them the interior walk to where you never have to go outside and touch the street to get to the mall. And we started walking, and that area was closed. So then we had to go outside. We went outside. We had driven in, parked, paid money to park, walked around, said, "Okay, cool. We can't get to that from inside." We went to this other area to get to the mall, and it was like that was closed. It's like, okay, well, there must be another way to get to the mall. So we went back, got back in the car, said, "Okay, we're gonna pick Dan up from the airport." We got to the airport. Dan messages me and says, "Hey, my flight's running later." I was like, "Okay, let's try to get back into the mall." So we went back, paid for parking again, parked, walked into every conceivable entrance to get to that mall, only to find out the mall's closed because they're doing a ton of construction. All of downtown Indianapolis was under construction, I swear. It was every road we turned down, every building we tried to go into, every corner we turned. There was just every highway we were on, there was just construction everywhere. Everywhere. So we were then like, okay, we can't get into the mall. Cool. I wasted money on parking twice to not get into the mall. And then finally we left, went and picked up Dan from the airport, and then drove back. And as we were driving to we went and we stopped and got lunch at Steak and Shake. And then we and then we went. Construction's really bad in Indy lately. Yeah, it was bad. And then we got to we dropped Alexis off as her Airbnb. The road we took to get her to her Airbnb, that might as well have just been an old country road that had not been paved. Like, the entire road, and I'm not talking about, oh, they sectioned off a section for construction. The entire 4-lane road was all dug up, and cars were still supposed to drive on it. So if your suspension was crap, you were screwed because that road was awful. I think I don't know if Dan will be in here, but Alexis can tell you. Yeah, the construction was bad. It was really bad. They're building like some more hotels to connect to the convention center, and it was just bad. That wasn't just dust. that was some crappy road. But we got her there, and then Dan and I went to our Airbnb. Kim and Steve were already there, and then Jess came, and Jess had this amazing Jeep Rubicon. I was like, okay, that's the car I'm riding in all the time. And she was kind enough to drive us to and from GenCon, which was fantastic. So we sat down that night, and this is Wednesday night. So we sat down Wednesday night and we started playing games. And let me see if I can do this guy. So everyone's there and we're hanging out. Yeah. Your truck would have. I don't know, Mark. I don't know. This road was bad. It was like we were off-roading on road. So we sat down. The first game we played was Bomb Busters, which we all did a great job on. But this is the second game that we played all together, which was Keep the Heat. No, this was Paint the Roses. And we started playing Paint the Roses. It was an amazing, fun time. Everyone was just gathered around the table. Um, this is before Jess's oops, which she described, and I don't know. I think Kim and Steve described it on there, but there's the illustrious can that's next to her that was bumped. But like I said on Kim and Steve's recap, they talked about it. But we played a Roman highway or just an unsealed gravel road. It was just bad, Yogi. I don't even know how to describe that. That was just bad road. How do I? Anyway, we played this. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, shoot. I didn't put the scene over here. I put it on this slide instead of the one I wanted to. All right, we're gonna do some trickery here. I didn't put this thing in the right place. I gotta fix this real quick. Hold on. Let's grab this and copy. And then go back to here and paste as reference. And then we can kill studio mode. There we go. We fixed it. Tell it again. So basically, the illustrious can. I don't have Steve's pointer, but the illustrious can is the one that's right in front of Jess. That was that orange can. And as we're playing, she's guessing some stuff that's on there. And Paint the Roses is where everyone works together. It's a co-op game to try to. It's a co-op kind of. You're trying to decide what this person's card is without them talking about it, and they put cubes on these tiles to try to help you guess whether it's a color to color combination, a shape to shape combination, a color to shape combination, and just the myriads of in between. And anyway, we're guessing as we're doing that. Jess is wanting to put something down. She bumps this can, and soda spills all over the board. It's a dual layer board, so it was okay, but she just felt awful about like what she did, which was pretty bad. But everyone laughed about it. Kim and Steve were fine. They were just like, okay, well, it was just one card that got hit that just needed to get dried off, and Steve said he talked to the designer tomorrow at GenCon, like in the dealer hall, to see if he can just get this one card replaced, which I believe he's getting the card replaced. But from what I understand, Steve told the designer what happened. They were just laughing about it. And then when Jess was there, Jess was going to say, hey, I'm just going to buy a new game for you because I feel so bad that I spilled drink on your game. And the designer looked kind of odd at her, and then she's describing it. His response to her was immediately, "It was you," which Steven told the story prior, but just hearing someone like you're telling someone this story, and someone turns and be like, "Oh, that was you," like they knew you did it, was just hilarious. So we played this. We did win this one, but it was close. It was a really close game and a lot of fun. Let me see if I can do the other one. Then that night, we played Kinfire Council. So if you've played the Campfire Chronicles series, which is the one where you play a bunch of cards, you're working as a team, and the map's on the center of the board. It's like this one-page map that you move around and are fighting monsters and playing cards and doing combos, working and helping each other out. It could have been worse. It could have been a Cheetos finger. I know, I know. Campfire Council is different. It's set in the same world, but it's a worker placement game. And you could play it co-op or you could play it competitive, right? I believe there is that you can play this game solo, but Steve will have to correct me if I'm wrong. But we all played this game. This was a full-on 5-player play, where you decide where your worker's going to go, and you're trying to help the city of Dinlux like survive these cultists that are trying to take it over. Which cultist is the Atama that you're going against? I believe we won this one as well. They helped me win because I was doing horrible on this game. I think I was last in scoring, and it was either Dan or Steve helped give me like 10 victory points that put me ahead of the cultists by 2 points to help us all win the game. But overall, this was a lot of fun. We got to play this. We got to have a good time. Notice that Jess has a sealed beverage now. It's sealed. And the can is now the can that's at the bottom of the screen's mine. But yeah, which do you like better? Which do you like better, Council or Chronicles? I like Chronicles more. Council's nice as a worker placement game, and it is a lot of fun. Just as a sippy cup, and it is a lot of fun to play. I do enjoy it, but I enjoyed Council more. It just I like the dungeon crawlery, and I love the card play combos that were in that game. This game is still fun as it's in its own right, but I preferred Chronicle over Council. Yeah, so we played this, we won this. Like you see, no one moved from the table. We're all just having a good time, and I'm just taking pictures and having a good time. Remember, Steve is the rulebook guru, and he just kind of. I haven't played it solo, Mike. Steve owns this game. I don't own it. So whenever I'm hanging out with he and Kim, and he wants to play it, I'll play it. But I won't own that game. It's not a game I want to own. So we just had a really good time playing this one. This was a lot of fun. Yep. Then the next day we went to GenCon. Yeah, because this didn't happen until the next day. So we went to GenCon, so I'll back it up. So the next day we went to GenCon, and we met up with those pictures are further in. They're further in, and I'll get to the GenCon side. But the next day when we were at the Airbnb, we played. Jess was hearing Steve and Kim talk about Leviathan Wilds. And Leviathan Wilds is one of those games, if you play Shadow of the Colossus, where you fight a bunch of different monsters. You don't fight them. You try to cure them of the corruption that's on them by breaking these crystals. And once you break the crystals, the monster's cured, you win the game. So you're basically climbing all over these large, gigantic monsters, trying to help destroy all the corruption that's on them, while staying alive and not falling to your death. If ever you also can gain corruption, and there's a corruption track and a health track, and they're both all on the same track. And if those two cubes ever meet, you die, and the game is lost. So when one person loses, everybody loses. So Jess had never played this game, and I think she had heard of it, but she never played it. She was just curious if she would like it or not. So she bought it the first day at Gen Con, and then Steve said, "Hey, if you want me to teach you, I can teach you how to play it." So we all played a 4-player game of Leviathan Wilds, where we and notice no drink, right? No drinks. Jessa, I'm gonna make fun of that forever. So we played through this. We played through the first one, which was the turtle, and successfully won that one. And she immediately was like, "Oh yeah, this is a no-brainer." So she loved that game. So I'm glad that Steve was able to teach her that game and help her learn how to do it. Then after everybody was kind of getting tired and whatnot, Steve and I decided that he would open up his box of Vampire Survivors, and we would give it the first play. So we started playing the first game of Vampire Survivors, and we got the rules wrong. But it was still so much fun that because when I saw it, I knew the IP and I really enjoyed the IP, but I was like, board games from video games, touch and go. It hasn't they're with more being on the not successful side than the successful side. So far, I think the only the only video game, the board game adaptation that I liked and still own is this War of Mine. So I haven't really tried the rest of it. Oh, the rule book was awful, but we got a lot. Well, we got a lot of rules wrong, not because the rule book was good and we didn't we messed up. It was because the rule book was bad and we messed up. Slay the Spire is fun, but I called that game only because playing that game solo is not fun. That game, Slay the Spire, that game is meant to be played multiplayer. Like, you can play it solo, but that wasn't their intention. Their intention was to play it multiplayer, and it shows in that adaptation. So I would probably say, for people who are like, oh, Slay the Spire is awesome, it's a great game adaptation. It's not, because when you play it, the video game adaptation is single player, and it plays amazing single player. But when you get the board game and you play it single player, it's not fun. For me. I'll say for me. Other people probably played it solo and enjoyed it, but for me, it wasn't fun. Stalker, I don't know the IP of that video game, so I can't speak to that. I can only speak to my experience of video games to board games that I know the IP of and have enjoyed. So I'd say there's been more misses than hits. And I think a lot of people, while you're saying, well, this game was great, but if you look at the overall metric, they've been a lot of misses than hits when it comes to board game adaptations. Like, for instance, people love Resident Evil. I thought it was terrible. I did. I love the Resident Evil IP, but the board games, all of the board games I've played of Resident Evil have not been fun. Dark Souls, I know the IP, but all of the board games I've played of Dark Souls have not been fun. So, Monster Hunter, I know the IP, but that board game is not fun. So that's why I say there is more misses than hits, is what I mean, right? And the only ones that have hit for me was this War of Mine. Now I have Vampire Survivor, which worked out. Steve said he agrees with Mike. Mike said, I do like it solo, but it takes so much longer to set up. It's not really worth it over the video game. Yeah. Misses than hits, right? It plays more into it. I'd just rather play the video game in the vast majority of cases. No setup, cheaper and easier to store. Fair enough. Oh, Elder Scrolls. I do own Elder Scrolls. You're right. I have Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is good. That is my first CTG game that I kept. I've played a lot of CTG games. Love the company. Love how the company operates. Love the people that work at the company. But their games, I've always fallen off of, and I'm like, I want to support this company. I love this company. Why can't I find a game that I like by this company? And then they released Hoplomachus Victorum, which I was like, okay, cool. This is my game to own. And then after that, they released Elder Scrolls, and I was like, okay, I will play that more than I play Hoplomachus. So I called Hoplomachus and got Elder Scrolls. So yeah. Elder Scrolls, this War of Mine, and now Vampire Survivors. But Steve and I played this game. Even though we played it wrong, we still really enjoyed it and loved the IP. And I have a video of me playing it solo, and I enjoyed it solo. What's interesting is, while Steve and I were talking about it, he was saying, hey, are you finding the game really easy? And once he flipped the card from the normal side to the challenge side, he found the game more enjoyable because it became more of a challenge, where the monsters spawn before they activated, which makes things, it ramps up the difficulty and makes it a lot more fun. So for people who find the regular play easy, if you flip it over to the other side, it'll be really good. And what's pretty cool is the designers of this game are very active. Like one of them commented on my video saying, "Oh yes, this is what happens. You played this right. Yeah, this is the reason why we did this," and they were very responsive to the feedback. They're there watching it, and they want their game to be successful. It's not just a fly by night thing. Anyway, Vampire Survivors. Then the next night, so we started playing The Crew, and this is Journey to the Center of the Earth, which is the new installment of The Crew. I don't know if y'all played The Crew before. The Crew and me have a weird history. With The Crew, the first time I'd never played the game, never heard of it before in a day in my life, and then when I went to go visit Colin and Barrett, when we went to go visit them, and Kim and Steve came along as well, all of them know The Crew. All of them have played The Crew, right? And all of them have played The Crew together. So they had these synergies and things of how they play and how they operate. I don't know how to play. So I sit down and they're like, "Oh, we'll teach you. It's going to be super easy." So I sit down, and what transpired could only be described as noise to me, because they just started, they're like, "Oh, we got to do this," and then blah, 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 and they just started talking to each other, and I was just like, cool, I have a yellow card. What do I do with that? And then I think I played a card one time, and Barrett was like, "Why would you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know." Okay. And then my brain immediately went to fight or flight, and it went into flight. So I was like, okay. I put my cards down, I pushed them forward, and I was like, "Y'all play how you want to. I don't know how to do any of this." And I just shut down. Because I was like, I don't know what to, I don't know what I'm, so they all played and they won. And I think that was the end of The Crew for me. It was, I don't know how to play this. You are all pros and you all know what you're doing, and it's not gonna work. Sorry. And I was like, I'm done with The Crew. This is my experience of cooperative trick takers. Yeah, and so I was done with The Crew. I was like, cool. I never have to. You ruined the game. I never will play this game again. And then they were all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We yeah." They realized what it was, and we were all good. We're all friends. I didn't take it personal. I wasn't upset. I was just like, "This isn't the game for me. Y'all are way ahead of me, and cool." So this was the second return, which was playing The Crew Journey, and this time we played, I believe it was Kim, Dan, who's on the left there, Steve, and myself that were playing. Kim and Steve knew the game, but Dan and I did not. So now we're on equal footing, right? And so as Steve's explaining the game, I was like, "Oh, a jar of preserves. That makes sense." For people who watch Family Guy and get that reference, you'll get it. So when we played this one, what was different was, if you look at the book on the table, now it's, you have objectives to do, like group objectives to do, just like the other Crew, but that book is a map, and basically you score points by completing the objectives to move along the map. And you have to get to the end before a timer gets to the end. And if the timer gets to the end first, you lose. If you get to the end first, you win. And there's a bunch of different maps in that book that you switch around, you complete, and you continue playing. So that's kind of how those objectives work. And I think there are unlocks in this game. I can't remember. Steve will have to post in the chat if he's still there. If there is unlockable stuff in there. But as we played, we started kind of getting the groove and playing, and now I know how to play The Crew. And it is a fun game. It is a really fun cooperative trick-taking game that I enjoyed. I enjoyed this iteration. like moving along the map trying to figure out those things. I actually like that. I thought that was a lot of fun. So thanks, Steve. Steve taught us a bunch of games during Gen Con, and thanks, Steve, for teaching us that. That was a lot of fun. No unlocks. Okay. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I appreciated him for helping us, kind of walking us through how this stuff works. So it was good times. Hey, Baron or Colin, one of the two. How are y'all doing? Because I know you both use the tag, so I'm not sure which one. All right. Let's see. Let's go to next. The next morning, before we were gonna head out to Gen Con, Steve and I played Aetherspire. This is a game that's going to be coming up on crowdfunding pretty soon, if it's not already. I haven't checked the feed since I got home to see if it did, but Steve taught me this game, and it's a very quick to teach game. It's a really great family game. Honestly, if you want to get it for you and the kids to play, there's not a lot of heavy overhead on this to worry about, but it still has a challenge to it. So basically, you are guardians of the elements, and but for the four elements have gone wild, and so you're trying to help tame them down. Oh, it was already crowdfunded. There you go. I haven't checked my feeds, so it's already crowdfunded. But the four elements have gone wild, and you have to build these spires to be able to to nullify the element, or purify that element from being wild. And to build those spires, you have to stack. So it's kind of like a stackable thing where you have to stack four things on top of each other, and then the spire, and then the aether spire for that element appears, and you calm the element, and therefore that element no longer affects you. But to build those, you have to spend elements, and there's different ways that you can do it. Your character has special abilities that they can use elements. You make use of the elements to be able to do things. Your character has abilities that use elements that can do things, and if you look up at the top left of the board where you see that blue, white, red, and green area, those are wild elements that you can use, that they have abilities that you can use. So you can defeat a bunch of corruptions. You can build columns to start stacking things up on, which you have to put specific element colors on the board of these tiles that are on there to build it up. And once you have four and the spire goes, it nullifies the element. But if you don't, while you have not built for all four elements, those elements have abilities that are working against you. And you reveal each element as you move down that purple track on the right side that you see there. So every place you see like a white space, a new wild element comes out, and you have to take them on. It was fun. That was that was a really fun game. I think Steve said he liked it as well, but that was a really fun game, and it's a bag builder. So how you get the elements that you're going to use is not cards in your hand. It's a bag of cubes, and you reach in there and you pull out a set of cubes, and those cubes become what will be used. What are the elements that you can use? So it's a bag builder, and this game. It's very simple in play, but it's also super fun. It was a lot of fun to build those spires. It really came down to the wire. Steve and I were able to win, but it came down to the wire on winning. So that means that the challenge is there as well, where you have to figure out how to make this thing, what's the best way to do it, what elements you want to try to pacify, and then there are corruption pieces that are on there that are doing it. Now, how you lose is at the center of the board. If you look, you'll see a center board with those same colors, the green, blue, white, and red, and then that purple thing in the middle. That's the health of the core. And if the health of the core goes to 0, you lose the game. And the elements and the corruption are attacking the core. So you have to play it in a way where you can mitigate. I wouldn't even say defend. I would say mitigate the damage that's coming to the core, and build your spires in it as the timer tracker, which keeps going down and down, is moving to get everything done in time. We played 2 elements. I'm sure Steve has played this a ton more, and he'll have a video of a playthrough of this coming to his channel, so stay tuned to that. But it was fun. I think people who like this style of game will really love this game, and people who are looking for family games for the kids and for stuff that they'll gravitate towards this game. I think it's a good. It was a really good showing of this and a really good play of that. So Steve says it's out and available now. It already crowdfunded, so when he does this play, keep looking at Co-op Guild and check out this wonderful play of it and see how it goes, because he'll do a fantastic presentation as always, and you'll get to see some really good stuff. I'm trying to remember what game this was because my brain went blank. But we were all sitting down and getting ready to play another game, and I'm trying to remember what game this was. Oh my gosh, it slipped my head. It's gone. It's gone. What game this was, Steve? It's gone. Was this the Crew again? I think this is another. Oh, this is another play of the Crew. Yeah, this is another play of the Crew. Ah, so many pictures. I just started snapping pictures every time we played a new board game. Then that night, after we got back, so this is all at the Airbnb that I'm talking about right now. That night, Jess had bought Fortune and Glory. I'd never heard of this game, but Steve played this. This is an old game. They said that this is what inspired Eldritch Horror, so it's older than Eldritch Horror. And it's basically Eldritch Horror Indiana Jones, where you are treasure hunters trying to beat the Reich, the Nazis and stuff, from finding the treasures before you do and losing the game. And Steve did another great job of kind of teaching this game to us. The dude is like a living rule book, I swear to God. But he did a great job. But what I really liked about this game, it's dated, but it was still fun. We still had a good time doing it. But what I really loved about this game was the treasures. Like, you would draw a location and an artifact, right? And when you flipped it over, the artifact would be the Crystal of, and the location would have like some weird name of like Sepum Ka or something like that. And you just put those two together, and that's the treasure. And basically you put it in that location and you have to go get it. You get to move around the board by using, I believe there's points that you can use to move those around. No, that was not a bad job teaching, Steve. You did a great job. It made me like the game. I was like, this game's fun. How come you get to play all the good games? You can still get this game. They keep releasing it. Yeah, it's the same company that did A Touch of Evil, one of my first board games. I love them, but by the time I got into gaming, they were already starting to run out of production. Dude learns rules real fast. Yeah, Steve is very good at learning rules quickly, and his explanations. I gotta tip my hat to him because he understands his audience. So like he knows that he can't. Steve knows he cannot sit down and explain an entire rule book to me and expect me to be like, oh, okay, let's start playing. So he knows how to temper. He's very aware and knows how to temper rulebook teaching with his audience. So I think this is not the first time he'd game with Jess, but this is the first time he's doing a teach. And every single time he was able to adapt that teaching lesson to each person to make everyone feel comfortable and understand what's going on. So I think if there's someone that can teach a board game, I think it's him. Like, I think he could teach a board game to anyone and it will work out because he knows how to read the room and read the audience to know how to teach people how to play a game. It's a special skill. I don't have it. I don't have it, but he does. And he does it very well. So Steve, well done. But Fortune and Glory overall, it was a fun game to play. I won't own this game. I think because I have Eldritch Horror, and I would probably rather play Eldritch Horror than this. However, I think if they would release a updated, like, new, and I don't mean updated like reskin it and then just release it as is. If they were to update some rules and combine Eldritch Horror with Fortune and Glory, I think they would have like an amazing game on their hands. Because the movement, there's sometimes you can get stuck in movement where you can't cross the ocean because you didn't roll well enough to move. Or you get to an area and you couldn't really do the thing you wanted to do because you just can't. Like it's just there's things about it I don't like. There's things about it that I do like. The enemies, I really like how they move on the board. They are trying to get the treasures too, so there's dice rolling for them as well. I wish there's a way kind of around that, but what the thing I really love is that when you have like it's like you go on a quest, you draw this card and you have to complete this objective, and if you don't, then you have to deal with this other card that's like a boulder rolling towards you, or snakes, or a spike, and you have to deal with the outcome of your failure, which is pretty cool. Eldritch Horror does that, but not in the same way, and I do like how Fortune and Glory does it over Eldritch, but overall I like Eldritch more than this one. Oh yeah, yeah. If they're able, I think this game still has legs. It's just more it needs to be updated. And then the art on it is hilarious. I made Cull Eldritch. I really like Horror on the Orient Express, and I have Spellrift coming, so we will see. I don't think Spellrift will touch Eldritch, to be honest. I like Spellrift. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't touch Eldritch Horror to me. And I don't know about Horror on the Orient Express. I know about the game, I just haven't played it. And it was at Gen Con. The box was ridiculous. The box was huge. Anyway, Fortune and Glory. Then we went to, so now we're on Saturday. And on Saturday we went, Steve and I, Kim wasn't feeling well, so Steve and I went to the hall, and what's the first game that we set up? Vampire Survivors. Because that's when Steve was like, hey, we played this wrong. Oh, we made some rules goofs and we played this wrong, so let's play it right. And we played it here, and we played it right, save for like, I think 2 rules we got wrong, but they were minor. But we played it right, and we loved the game even more. And Alexis in the bag joined and was hanging out with us. No, she was playing another game herself. That was another game she was playing. Was that Forager? That Forge City Smoke Mountain Rescue game? She was looking for this one game at Gen Con. I swear to God, I can't pronounce that game to save my life. Because she was like, look for Smoky Forest Mountain Retreat Fishing Bear Rescue or something. But she wanted this game from Fancy Flight Games, and the line was stupid. The line for FFG, for Asmodee, they had to do kind of like the zigzag line, but even in that, it went out, it went around the corner, down, around another corner, around another corner, around another corner, and it was like that for the entire day. I went back there probably at the end of the day when things were starting to close down, and there was still a line, but I was able to get in it and pick up one of the games that I'll show you from my Gen Con haul. Eldritch Horror is amazing. That game is so good. I don't I don't think there's been a game quite like it since, and the sandboxy beauty of that game is just great. Sitting here trying not to late pledge Vampire Survivors. Chris, it's fun. The rulebook is not great, but it's a fun game. It's one of those games where if I didn't have a Steve there, I would have passed on it and regretted it because it was a fun game. Yep, so every Saturday, Steve and Kim host this all-day board gaming event. We don't want to go near the dealer hall because Saturday is supposed to be one of the biggest days of the convention, and just to let you know how big the convention was this year. Before Hey Jess, you missed some fun talk about you. So before we got to, when we were going to pick up our badges, usually how the convention works is they'll say all the 4-day passes are sold out, but we still have 1-day passes that people can pick up at the convention. That's because they're trying to sell as much as they can. And then when they get to around Saturday, you'll see sold out. This year, all badges were sold out before we even picked up our badges. Like, they sold out. Gen Con completely sold out this year. And it shows. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people. Jess, it was you! So on Saturdays, because we don't want to have anything to do with the convention hall, uh, Kim and Steve host a board gaming all day event at the JW Marriott. Anyone can come. There's no cost, there's no expectation, there's no nothing, right? You just come, either you bring a board game or they have board games there that you can play, or you can sit down and be taught, or you can have fun playing. And so it's been an amazing time. We've seen people come in, say hey to Kim and Steve's, like, hey, we love your channel, and then sit down, play some board games by themselves or with friends, or with Kim and Steve, and then they're like, all right, we got to go to this show, and then they'll get up and go and then come back later. And that's kind of what they wanted to create, with just this kind of environment where people could just feel comfortable, come in, play some board games, have a good time, and just chill with everyone and anyone that's in the community space and hang out. And we've had he's had other content creators come by, say, hey, we love what you're doing, and play some games, and then head out and do their things that they have to do. Everyone always comes by to say, so he's cultivated a really great environment on this Saturday that's been going on since he created it, and it's only growing, right? So he kind of set this up, built, and that's what Saturday was: board gaming all day. Well, I was there, and so was Janet and her husband, who was there to play some games. This game was the first game I played, which was called Square One. This is if you've ever played Project L, if you ever played Project L, this is the next iteration of Project L, where you're not Tetris shaping things to get points. You are just buying cubes and upgrading cubes to fill slots. And Project L was basically Tetris. This is more a strategic, an even more strategic play on that, where you're not Tetrising, you're just getting the right color blocks and the right amount of shapes to get the highest points and win. Janet taught me how to play this game. I know how to play Project L, so this game was a really quick pickup, as it uses a lot of the different things of Project L on it. I'd say this is a really great family game. It is fast to play. I think it's about 45 minutes total to play the game, because once the black stack of tiles run out, the game's over. That's it. And there's not a lot of those tiles that are out there. So we played through a game of this, and I think I won and Janet got in second place, which was a lot of fun. That was a fun game to play. I would recommend it for people with kids. They will love this game, I promise. My son loves Project L, and I believe I have this one. I think I do. I have a space for board games that are my kind of stuff, and then a space for board games for me and my son. And I believe I have Square One over there, so he and I can play this one and have a good time with it. Then the wonderful Stacy appeared, and got to hang out with Stacy. But one of the big things was Janet said, when you come to GenCon, I'm going to teach you Dune Imperium. Because she was like, I will like Dune Imperium, so she wanted to teach me the game. So the four of us sat down and played a game of Dune Imperium, and I immediately went online and bought everything for Dune Imperium. And I own all of Dune Imperium. So this game was fun. You can play this game solo. Oh, Derek. You can play this game solo. And this game is fun, solo or multiplayer. But I think that they could have slapped any theme on this game and it would have worked. It would have been fine. I like Dune. I like Dune, but I am not a fan of Dune. Does that make sense? Like, if Dune came out, like if someone said you can watch Dune or you can watch, what's another good sci-fi series I like, or you can watch Alien. I'd watch Alien. So I don't hate Dune. I know the story of Dune, so I'm kind of done with Dune, right? I love the how epic Dune is. It's so epic and so vast and so big. It's kind of like, to me, I could compare the vastness of Dune with Foundation. If you've ever read the Asimov, I think that's Isaac Asimov that wrote Foundation. But I compare the two together, right? That's how vast and big those worlds are. And I love Dune for what it is. But I've gone through all the books. I'm good. Dune's done. But Dune is one of those things that's safe for Hollywood, so they keep remaking Dune movies. They keep churning them out over and over and over again, because it's safe, right? They know people will love Dune. They know people will come and watch it and enjoy it, so Hollywood will keep doing it. So I don't need to watch those movies because I know exactly what happens. So no miss on my part. Um, and this game to me is Dune skinned or Dune themed, that if you slap any other theme on top of it, the system still works. So that to me tells me that it's a strong game. Like if they say, okay, well, we're gonna reskin Doom and put Foundation on it, I would be like, it'll still work, right? What I really love about this game is the first person to 10 wins, but to get to 10, there's multiple ways to do it. You can gain favor with the factions. The fight happens on Arrakis, but you gain favor with the factions, which can, not always, but can get you victory points. You can take place in conflicts that can, but not always, give you victory points. And there's like a lot of engine moving and building that goes into how these things work, that the brain burn in terms of trying to figure out the best. I wouldn't even say the best, because there's no best solution to that game. If you think of a strategy that you think is the best, someone else can come up with a strategy that's better. So there's no best strategy. You can try to figure out the best path for the cards that you have to solve the problem. And that in of itself makes this game so much fun. Yeah, there is super secret backstabbing in this game for sure too. So I like the mechanisms of this game so much that the theme didn't dissuade me from getting the game. The mechanism sold me immediately. And usually what happens with games for me is I'll play a game, the theme will be something that draws me in, and the mechanisms is what holds me. But in this, a weird opposite effect happened, where I didn't care for I did not care about, not didn't care for, but I did not care about the theme. But the mechanisms drew me in, and the mechanisms held me. Like this, I think this is the first time something like that has ever happened in a board game for me, where like Nemesis, it's alien theme drew me in, mechanisms of it held me. This War of Mine theme drew me in, mechanisms safe for combat held me. Um, Dice Throne art drew me in, the mechanisms held me. So Lands of Evershade, pure theme drew me in, and then the mechanisms held me. This is the first time a game with mechanisms drew me in and held me at the same time. And that's why I immediately purchased this game. It was an immense amount of fun. If people like worker placement games that you have to find the best strategy to make things work, I don't want to say best strategy. You have to find a strategy that will help you advance. I think this game is kind of what you like. There's no best I don't think there. I've tried so I have Dune Uprising, Dune Imperium Uprising, and all the expansions. That you don't need Dune Imperium and Dune Imperium Uprising. You could just get one or the other and then the expansions, and it works. But I purchased Dune Imperium, the original game, on Steam, And I've been playing that game, and I've tried so many different strategies, and all of them have, like, can be overcome. All because I keep losing. All of them can be overcome. But I've tried different strategies, and I love that I still don't feel like I got to the tip of the iceberg on seeing what all this game can offer. And I haven't added any expansions yet. This is just straight Dune Imperium. So adding in the other expansions will add even more flavor to the game for me and more mechanisms that for me to enjoy and play. That's why I went all in on it. Like, I'm really looking forward to bringing this game to the channel and playing it solo. So we'll see how it goes. After we played that, the four of them decided to play Brass Birmingham. I took one look at that board and I noped out. I'm like, nope. But Janet blinged the heck out of this game. Dan and Janet and Gary knew how to play it, and I think they were teaching Stacy. But it was just more as they're explaining it, I'm like, I do, boy, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. A nice light game of Brass Birmingham. That was a lot. That was a lot to look at. It was a lot to look at, and I don't know if my brain at the time could handle Brass Birmingham. One of my coworkers who's heavy in the board games like me, he likes Company of Heroes. His favorite games are Kingdom Death Monster, Company of Heroes, Twilight Imperium. Like, those are the games he plays for fun. But this is one of his top games as well. He loves Brass Birmingham. And the only reason why he didn't snag Brass Pittsburgh was because he said, like, the price point, and he was upset about, like, how the overall cost of it turned out in the crowdfunding campaign. That he was like, he loves the Brass series. He has all the Brass series. He just skipped Pittsburgh. Like, he was like, nope, I got Company of Heroes. I'll play that instead. So, and I sent Steve a picture of how he blinged out Company of Heroes with bridges and all this other stuff. And Steve was like, wow. So, yeah, he likes nice short games like Twilight Imperium. Yeah, he plays it, those short games he plays for fun. But he definitely loved Brass Birmingham. And because a lot of people, and I think this is like one of BGG's top 3 games. I think it's top 1 now, but it changes places with other games. But when I looked at this one, I was just like, yeah, no. Hey Gunnar, how's it going? This is no, no. And I just took a picture of that, and as you can see, there are pictures of the hall of how many people were. Not all of them were there for the Co-op Guild event, but how many people just come and play board games. And there's people who have like these orange cones on their table that says, hey, come sit with me, I will teach you a board game, which is pretty cool. Back at the house, we then Steve broke out Invincible Season 2 of Invincible for us to play, and I believe Colin has a video of that up on his channel as well. But he taught us how to play Invincible. I bought Invincible when it first came out at GenCon, and when I played it with them, I was like, I don't like this game, and I gave my copy to Steve. So I was like, I don't like this game. Here, you can have it. And he and Kim liked the game a lot, so they enjoyed it a ton. I was fine with that, and then second season, Steve purchased the second season of this game, and that's what we were playing here. And I got to play Samson, Black Samson, I think was his name. And Steve played Duplicate, which were the 2 new characters that came out. And I believe Monster Girl, Jess played Monster Girl, and I cannot remember who Kim played. But it was all the new characters that we tried out. I don't know if Kim used the new character, but I know the 3 of us did. So Steve will, if he's still in the chat, he can tell me. But it was fun, actually. It was like Iron Man. I had to suit up, and then once my character suited up, I was able to do a bunch of really cool things on the board. Duplicate's crazy. She was in every zone at the same time doing so many different things. So she's a like a really strong character to have if you know how to play her right. But overall, I sent this to Pickle. Good game. Yeah, it's a good game. Season two added some more things and added some more stuff, and it was fun to play. So it was a good teach. Once again, our board game enforcer, Steve, like the one who's great with the rulebooks, taught us how, reminded me how, and taught everyone else how to play, and we had a good time playing the game. So it was fun. Then this, yes, then my son, my son sat down and they wanted to teach him. My brain was done for the day, but he wanted to play a board game, and they decided to play Boss Fighters QR, which Kim and Steve own, and that's Jess with her her iPad that she's bringing out to help play. My son loved this game. Like he when he was playing, he was like, "Dad, I really really like this game. This is a lot of fun." That I immediately bought it. I just went online and bought it because it's something he'll love and enjoy, and we could play together and have a good time. If he's loving board gaming, I want to help. And so I definitely went out and immediately purchased this game. But it's an app based game, and I know a lot of people like me who don't like forced app based games. This one actually does it right, which is wild. They're always releasing new stuff. They have seasonal stuff that they release on the app. So I asked Steve, like, "Hey, did y'all beat this game already?" And Steve said, "No, we didn't," which was weird because Kim, and their son play this game a lot. And when I asked them, did he beat it? He's like, "No, they're always releasing new stuff. You can't. There's no end to the game. Like, you just keep fighting different bosses, or you keep fighting harder modes of the bosses." But my son, as he's playing this game, and I want to remind you, like, my son he doesn't like board gaming like I do, only because he has ADHD, and so focusing is very hard. It actually happened when we were playing a game. He was playing a game, and I saw him drifting. Like, I don't know if anyone else saw it, but I know the signs to look for, and I saw him drifting, and so I was like, "You okay?" He was like, and I said, "You want to be done?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I'm kind of done." So I took over for him when we were playing. So I can, he doesn't have the stay power for the type of games that I play. So us playing together has to be lighter based games like Project L, Just Get 10, Uno, like party style games and stuff like that. Like, he'd do great at code names. King, was it what's the one where you're not King of Monster Island, but the one before that, where you're the monsters in like Tokyo destroying the city, and you're gaining power cubes and buying cards and stuff like that. Can't remember the name of that game. It's gone from my head. Someone will tell me in the chat. King of Tokyo. Thank you. Yes. That is it. You can't go beyond King of Tokyo, right? Because I think that's the longest game he's been able to play and hold his attention. But he played this game and he was in love with it. He was like, "Dad, I really like this game." So it was an immediate buy for me. I just immediately went online and bought it, and cursed Steve's name as I did. Kingsley. So but yeah, this was a really fun game where people just kind of draw a set of cards, and then you're just hovering your cards over the app to do an attack, heal somebody, and each monster has a gimmick that you have to figure out. Once you figure out the gimmick, you are able to fight the monster a little bit more easily. But there are monsters that come out, and it's an ever evolving game, which is fantastic. So if Final Titan is out, you should try it with them. Final Titan? I don't know anything about that. Final Titan. Final Titan Game Found by Nerd Lab Games. I'm putting it on the list. 1 to 5 player. Yeah, I knew nothing about this game. A Draft Battler by Richard Garfield, huh? Alright, I'll check it out. I'll check out Final Titan. But we'll see what it is. It has 1 to 4 players, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, he loved that one. It was fantastic. All right, we're getting to the hall. So this was the last night when we played, and then in the morning, everyone just kind of dispersed. Like Dan left super early, and because we were going to drive straight through to get back home, my son and I left right after, and then I think Jess left, and then Kim and Steve left, and that was the end of our time at the Airbnb. I've been to Gen Con multiple times. Before I get to the hall, I'm just going to kind of talk about the experience at the house. I've been to Gen Con multiple times. I've stayed by myself at hotels when I go there. There was one time I stayed at an Airbnb with Colin, Barrett, Steve, and myself. Like the 4 of us stayed there, and we had a blast playing games, laughing, hanging out, and having a good time. But my goodness, this year, having more people at the house and all of us, like, I don't know how to have you ever, oh gosh, it's like trying to find the words is very hard. Have you ever been in a space where you felt yourself completely, and then but not only that, everyone was comfortable with you being yourself, and everyone was respectful, and everyone played games and just enjoyed, everyone truly enjoyed having each other around and laughing and just hanging out. Like, I will say that I've had fun at Gen Con. This Airbnb experience tacked that, like, escalated that fun by 1,000-fold from just what we played in this house. We didn't touch I think television probably only came on when we were going to sleep in our separate rooms. We didn't touch TV. We didn't go to separate areas of, I mean, when people needed downtime, they did kind of meander off to their own area, but they always came back. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I need my personal time, so I'm just gonna. They don't even say, oh, I need my personal time, I'm gonna go away. They just had that comfortable feeling that they could just get up and go, right? Um, it was just so. And I don't know how many people kind of get that. I feel like everybody should, where you could just exhale, where you could just and be in a space where you can be completely independent and completely enshrouded in a space that wants you to be there, that respects you being there, and that loves you for who you are and being there in the first place. Like, that was the space. Everyone just was so cool, and everyone was just so endearing, and even when we were like, hey, we're gonna play a game, do you want to join? And they were like, no, I'm okay. They would still sit around, right? They would still kind of, it's not that it was, no, I don't want to play ew or something like that. It was more, no, I'm gonna sit this one out and just kind of chill by myself. And then all of a sudden you see them just kind of sit on a couch behind you, just listening, right? It wasn't, oh, we're watching what you're playing. They're just looking on their phone or taking time to themselves to read something, but they're also listening. I feel like, and maybe I may be wrong with this assumption, but the vibe that I got was people enjoyed being in the space as much as we enjoyed having them in the space. That just sitting around and listening to the noise of friendship and the noise of community and the noise of gaming, like, reverberated so much within each one of us that we were just connected and just sitting there. They would just sit on the, like, we moved the table into this living room area because we got better lighting, and there was chairs all around us, and, like, Dan would pull up a chair, like, he would sit back, look out the window, but he's right there listening to us talk and have fun at the table, right? Kim would just kind of grab on her phone and just start scrolling through her phone, but she's on the couch right behind there listening to everything going on. it was something. It was that was something I think I needed. I think I needed that. I needed to just kind of breathe out for a while with everything like work, family, schooling, the world a day, all these other things that just kind of piled on. Just kind of sitting back and just breathing. That's what this let me do. So I'm grateful to all of them, for allowing me that space and inviting me into that space to be able to I get to play games with this as a man. Yeah. I no longer operate in spaces other than work, and that isn't like that. No time, life is short. That's why I hang out with you, for example. Yeah, and I love you, Mike. That's kind of I'm glad you're here. And so it's just like that breathing space, man. Everyone needs that. Like you don't realize how much you don't have it until you have it, until it happens. Because then you leave it and you're like, man, that was too short. I wish we could have this more. Like, because when you leave it and you get back into the space where you don't have it, you feel its absence. And I think that's the thing. It's like my first week back to work was rough because I felt its absence. And so, yeah. Anyway, all to say, yeah, I was like worried my social battery wouldn't last, but it never exhausted. I think your social battery burned out in the dealer hall, Jess, but not at the house. At the house, we were social, but we were recharging each other as we were being social. And me being an extrovert, my battery never ran out, so it was great. So now that's the house stuff. I would love to find a place. Like I don't think these places exist in Indianapolis. But I would love to find a place um when where we could get more rooms so more people can come and be in that space. Yeah, and be in that space. So, but this was I think this was the biggest size we could get. We were how far were we from the convention? We were probably like 20 minutes drive from the convention. Yeah, we were probably 20 minutes drive from the convention, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Okay, convention day. So the first day of the convention, the floor. So this was my son's first experience at GenCon. I wasn't gonna have him do the running with the nerds. I was just gonna have him stand up at the top level and look at the amount of people that were going in, and his eyes just went wide. His eyes went super wide when he saw how many people were on the floor. This wasn't the running of the nerds. This was when we got there as things were starting to build towards the running of the nerds. Ooh, that would be cool. Well, it's different though. That was different. Like if we get a hotel room, it's still a hotel. You know what I mean, Steve? Like it's a good idea, but for that to work, we would have to get a whole floor. You know what I mean? Like everyone had their rooms, but it was the communal space wasn't far. And if we rent a hotel, you get a conference room, but it would be far. It would be like, oh, I got to walk down. It's different. It's totally different. I think I have an idea that I want to run by Steve and Kim. I have an idea, and if the idea is good, then you should hear some news coming out for it in the in the future of what we have planned. I've been thinking about it for a while, and Steve proposed something and I was like, "Hey, that sounds cool. I want to do that. Let's do that." And then this idea started slowly crystallizing in my head, and this experience at Gen Con especially in the house, made that idea start to grow. And I was like, oh, that could work. No. That idea could work. So I need to talk to Kim and Steve about it, see how they feel about it, and because I want to partner with them. If we're gonna pull off this idea, I want to partner with them on it. Like it's the three of us doing this thing. Anyway, my son, I wanted him to see the mass gather. And what was funny was Kim talks about when she first heard of the running of the nerds, she thought it was going to be like this buffalo herd and everybody's going to get trampled and it's going to be chaos. I always wanted to tell her because when she said it was on stream and I wasn't there to say it, but I was like, well, think about the name. It's the running of the nerds. These nerds are respectful. They're gonna move properly. It's like it's the perfect name for what this is. If it was, oh, it's the opening running of Black Friday, then you expect chaos and people pushing and the average human to bump each other over an elbow and start punching. But the running of the nerds at Gen Con is the most respectful running because everyone's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, all right. And they walk in because they're all respectful. It's the community. You have a respectful community amassing and respectfully going into the hall. So the running of the nerds was a great title for this because that's what it was. That's what it was. So this was definitely a lot of fun for my son to see this. And even so, everyone at the top side, the glass area was completely full of people. But as like we got there and we were like, hey, some guy, I think two of the guys that was there where we were standing, they were talking about, they didn't know each other, but they were just kind of talking about what games they want to get. And they overheard me say, yes, this is my son's first Gen Con. And both of them was like, dude, come up here. And they helped him up to the front of the glass so that he could look over and see everything and take pictures with his phone and everything. That's what I mean about kind of like that respectfulness. Anywhere else, you'd probably get people being like, well, you should have gotten here early. Sucks to be you. But to me, only at this convention, you see people where they're like, oh man, you've never seen it? Come here, come check it out. And they invite you into their space to do that. And that's the reason why I love this community and I'm very protective of this community, is because everybody's just chill, man. Everybody just kind of like, you're here, I'm here, we're all going to get in there, we're all going to play games. If I don't get it, so what? It'll be available at retail later. I don't have to be a jerk about it. And that's how that works. So he was able to see all that stuff and take pictures and see the madness. On our walk over there, this is Jess. We took a picture as we were walking because it was my son, Dan, Jess who drove, and myself, and we're all going to the hall, and we parked far. The first day, we didn't have a good idea of where to park, and we parked very far when we were walking, and I was just like, hey, take a picture, and just leaned over and took a picture. So it was good to have that one. Then when we got there, we met up with Alexis, who's on. I'm gonna go from left to right. 98 miles away. 98 miles. So we met up with Alexis, and Alexis, I'm not gonna let you live this down. We're going through it. Because I have witnesses. When we got there, Alexis said, I pre-ordered these games, and those are all the games I'm getting at Gen Con. What I pre-ordered, I'm picking them up, and I'm not getting anything else. That's what she said. So, Dan and I created the over-under that was 2 games. We said that she's gonna get 2 games more than what she said. And she's like, nope, I'm here to pick up my pre-orders, and that is all I'm getting. And she was adamant. Oh, Joe, yes. She was adamant that she's just coming to pick up her pre-order games and be done. we meet up later on in the day, And the response was, Derek, I don't want to hear anything about it. I was like, two? Here she is with she has a big bag. You know, one of those the ones that a lot of people tell you they hate, those board game backpacks that they hate. Yeah, the one that they say they hate, the big ones that hold the board games. So she had that bag. She had picked up her pre-orders plus some other games, and she bought another bag of that type, the big board game bag, and that was filled with board games as well. So for the rest of the weekend, we never let her live that down. It was two games, right? Two games. That's what we're getting. And she's like, and so it switched from I'm only picking up my pre-orders to I never said that before. I was like, I have witnesses. Don't try to play it off. I have witnesses. So but what was crazy was the backpacks were full. The board game bags were full. She wore one on her back, and the other one she pulled around on the front, so it's like equalized weight. And she's walking through the hall. She is walking through the hall. Everyone got out of her way. Like, everyone got out of. There wasn't any bumping or anything like that. Everyone got out of her way. It was hilarious. It was awesome. Alexa, I love you. That was fantastic. Next there was Jen. Jen's from GenCon Plays Games. She's been YouTubing now and then. I wanted to meet up with her. I was supposed to meet up with her at a BIPOC event later on that evening, but I was tired, so I went home. But I went. I was so glad to be able to see her and give her a hug. She's my buddy, and I haven't seen her in forever. She was a living wrecking ball. That is hilarious. The other guy, I hadn't met him before, but he came with Jen, then Jess, then Dan, and then my son, which was there. So this was all of us up at the top area, just taking a quick picture. And then they said, Derek, getting on the picture. So there you go. That's that. But yeah, those two guys in the back, you'll see one above the guy I don't know's hat. There's a guy back there. And then the tall guy on the left, those were the ones who let my son in to take a picture. So I'm really grateful for them doing that. And they were super friendly about it. Also, I love Dan's shirt. Like, he came down in that shirt and I busted out laughing. That shirt was hilarious. Dan, well done. Well done. Well done. Save Ferris. Then later on in some other days, we went down. This is in Lucas Oil Field. We went in there to just kind of get lunch and sit down to eat, but then I wanted to go down to the floor, so we went down to the floor of Lucas Oil Field and on the field and just kind of walked through and looked at everything. Never have I seen so much Magic the Gathering being played in one place at one time. Like, I think that's all they were playing. Were they playing anything? I don't think they were playing anything else. I think it was all Magic the Gathering. I can't do it. I can't do it. But I tip my hat to them for doing it. There were vendors selling Magic things. But everyone was playing a game of Magic the Gathering. It was nuts. Good following. Good following. Yeah, then that's me and my son. So Dan took the picture of us together as we were doing it. My son wanted to touch turf, and they had stuff that was laying on the ground to cover the turf, but some of the turf was showing, so he'd reach down and touch it with his hands. So he's like, he was on the field. They started an annual con here in Williamsburg, Virginia last year, and I took my 10-year-old grandson. We had a blast. This year, my 15-year-old grandson, I'm going to go with us too. Nice. Yeah, y'all have a great time, Beth. That sounds awesome. Steve, it was a guy I didn't know. Myself and Steve got to play Chronicles of Drunagor Aftermath. Taking over a sports ball venue, yeah. We got to play Chronicles. This is the new Chronicles of Drunagor Aftermath. So we got to play it. I have everything for Chronicles of Drunagor. My upset with Chronicles of Drunagor was the darkness stuff. I hated it. I hated it. So what I plan to play that game with Mark on the channel, and I'm just going to remove darkness from it. And we'll just play the game as it is. But they have updated the rules here where they don't use darkness anymore, and what they do actually works really well. So it didn't bother me that what they added. I thought that was a good addition. And also, they were taking feedback from for the game. They were like, "What do you think of it? You know, is there anything you like to see?" One of the things that they asked was, and I talked about it yesterday on the co-op chat one as well, but they asked, "Do you prefer to have kind of, a board out and then you add more to it as you build out?" Like Gloomhaven sort of does that, but a lot of other games do that tile laying build out as you go. I know that Descent did that, where you take some tiles, other tiles are set aside, and then you build it out as things build out. Or would you like it all laid out? And I told them I prefer it all laid out. So they said you can do that in this game and it's perfectly fine. So they had it pretty laid out, already pre-laid out, just not the monsters or wherever they're going to spawn. And we played with the new characters. The new characters were fun. The one Steve played was pretty cool because his character you would roll you would roll 2d20s, and he got to keep one of them and he was able to pass it to someone else to say, instead of you rolling a die, that's what you rolled. Which is, D&D has that, but I love that they integrated that into this game, which was cool. My character was just a straight tank, and the other character was kind of like a rogue type. Yeah, so the way they played this out was actually, I enjoyed this playthrough. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought the changes were fun. Yeah, I thought overall this was a really fun play. I did back the all-in for Aftermath, so I'm looking forward to playing that and having a good time. I saw you and Steve playing that demo on the way to work at my booth. Didn't want to disturb you guys and got too busy to stop and say hi at the JW. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Yeah, it would have been great to see you. Never feel like you will never disturb us if you just taps on the shoulder and be like, "Hey man, what's going on?" We're completely open to that. But yeah, I had a blast playing this. I was super happy. One of the designers was there. That he was just kind of talking to us about it, and I'm very excited for this new iteration. You can reuse some of old Chronicles of Drunagor with the new stuff. It's just more Chronicles of Drunagor, but with refined rules, new characters for you to play, and a whole new storyline for you to go down. But overall, it was fun. Instead of going to like the Book of Mysteries, he had these cards that he just laid out, and he's like, just take the card, flip it over, and that's what you get. You don't have to read this weird stuff in the book like what you have to do in the first one. For like if you find a treasure or something that you're looking for. Treasure, like being able to find items was a lot more easy to approach. Yeah. Overall, good game. I liked it. Leveling up was great. This game has, also in this game, I think one of the things that turned people off was when you hear the word campaign. Nowadays, a lot of people do not want anything to do with campaign games because they're like, I have 30 campaign games, all of which I will never get to, so I'm done buying campaign games. So they've put in one-shots. So you can do these. So you're saying I need this. I'm not. I'm just this. I'm giving you information, Jess. I'm being an information giver of sorts. But this now has one shots to where either you could, like the mission that's on there, you could treat that mission as a one shot. You're done. Game over. And there's a really cool level up table that you have that levels you up quickly, or you could play the campaign. So now they've given you options of saying, all right, I want to play this mission, but I want to play it as a one shot. Play it, pack it up, you're done. It's over. Then there's, okay, well, let's not play it as one shot, let's play it as a campaign. You could do that too. So they've given you those options to really make the game more approachable and more enjoyable for players. I like this game a lot. I liked this game a lot when it was a campaign game. Now with the inclusion of the one shots, oh yeah, this game is a solid buy for me. So I'm happy I went all in on the Kickstarter, or the Game Found, whatever you call it. So that was that one. This was one that was pretty well talked about, and I think this was kind of one of those ones that I think a lot of people felt was their game of the con. For me, not so much, but I went over and because Dan was interested in checking this out, and he and I walked over there to get a better description of this. This is the King's Gambit, I think is what it's called, but it's centered around Lord of the Rings, right? It's centered around the final battle of Lord of the Rings, where it was the forces of Minas Tirith and Rohan, the Rohirrim, and whatnot versus the forces of Mount Doom, right? Right outside that final battle where you had to where Aragorn and crew um had to distract Sauron so that Frodo and Sam could get the ring into Mount Doom, right? So that's the stage of this game. That's the stage that you're on. So on the left side you have Minas Tirith, right? Um you have the forces and the stuff that's Minas Tirith, and the evil forces are trying to lay siege to Minas Tirith. So you see those red characters in Minas Tirith? That's what they're trying to do. So spoiler, if you haven't seen that movie by now, I cannot help you. So, oh my god, ruin the movies. So what was cool? So if they're able to get to the top of Minas Tirith, you lose. Right? The person who is playing Minas Tirith loses. This is a skirmisher game. If Sam, oh, I wish I had like that arrow system like what Steve has, because I could point to it. I don't. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see my arrow and me pointing to stuff. If you look at where that Coke bottle is, right on the table, if you go like diagonal to the southwest, you'll see like a little bit of gray there, like a little bit of gray. That little bit of gray is Sam and Frodo. And if Sam and Frodo can get to the top of Mount Doom, then the player who's controlling Minas Tirith wins, and the player who's controlling Sauron's forces loses. So that's the goal. In the meantime, in between, you've got things that you're trying to help. Yeah, you're trying to keep the eye of Sauron. The Minas Tirith forces are trying to keep the eyes of Sauron off of Sam, because if forces capture them, you lose. Right? So lose Minas Tirith, lose Sam and Frodo, you lose. Also, the forces in the middle, if your army gets decimated, you're going to get Minas Tirith overrun, and you're going to lose. But what's cool is that like Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli are like in that skirmish in the middle, and they have abilities. And the funniest thing ever was when the guy was describing it. It's that Legolas can kill more than one character with one attack. If you're able to roll really well, but you can kill more than one character with Legolas with one attack. And the guy next to me who was controlling Gimli was like, that still only counts as one. So they put a lot of those things in the game to kind of make the joke, right? Make the joke of the banter between Legolas and Gimli, or the rest of the characters in the game from the books and from the movies, to make it really funny. But that is like subtle to the overall war that's going on. When a horde is massacred, or when an alliance force is destroyed, they go back to a staging area. So they're not like, oh, I destroyed that, you'll never see them again. They go back to staging area, and you're able to pull them out again. You have cards that you can play to help your forces deploy forces. You can use special abilities on the different characters. There's so much to this game. It's a very dense skirmisher game for people who love Lord of the Rings, and I think this game will do very well. Honestly, from what I saw of this game, I was like, if I had the amount of people I needed to play this game, which is two, I would probably get, like, consistently, I would probably get it. But since I don't, I'm consistently, I'm not. But it is a this game will do very well. It's what he showed, and he was showing turn structures. Like, you even have specific. If you notice at the bottom left, notice the dice have different colors. The gray dice are for defense, but the other dice, depending on the type of attack that you're doing, you roll those different dice to see how much damage you've done. So the attacks vary, defenses vary, and the catapults and ballistas that are on there also vary, because the catapults can tear down the walls of Minas Tirith. I mean, it's just it's a lot of combat and a lot of fight and a lot of strategy in this game that I think this game will do very, very well when it's released. They've done a good sense of the work on this one, and I think they knocked it out of the park. I haven't played Queen's Gambit, but once again, I don't have the requisite number of players to play that game. I think at base you need 4. I think at base you need 4 players to play Queen's. No, it's King's Dilemma. Queen's Gambit is a movie. It's King's Dilemma. The King's Dilemma is the other one, not King's Gambit. That one you need at least 4 players to play. Yeah. So this one is, I think for people who love Lord of the Rings and people who liked War of the Ring, this is your next purchase for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if people think this is the game of the con, because it had such a really great showing. It had a really decent amount of polish, and it was fun to see. Yeah, so that was cool. Back to the Saturday. So I just kind of did a panning shot around the hall for everyone to see, like, how many people were in the JW Marriott. This is the gaming area on Saturday as we're going through. So you can see all these different people playing games. This is just all around the hall. All around the hall. Like, there was a lot of people in here doing that. Yeah. So that's... Ooh, I need to hide this. So that was my slideshow of the stuff. Now, what did I buy when I was there? I purchased... because Janet made me buy it, and I've described to you what I purchased, why I purchased it. Like I said, it could have any other skin on this game, and the mechanisms would still hold. This game was a lot of fun. I think they picked Dune only because at the time the movies came out, the movies were popular, but they didn't have to skin it Dune. It helped it sell. The theme, if you play to what people like in terms of theme, then they'll buy it. Whether they'll keep it depends on the mechanisms. I personally think this game is amazing, but they could have put any theme on it and the game would still be amazing. So I'm sure when the next big, epic, massive game comes out, they'll skin it to that and people will buy that too. But that was one of my purchases. The next one I got was Marvel Crisis Protocol Alliance's Night of the Goblin. So I've always been curious about Crisis Protocol. The minis look amazing, but I've always been curious about it. And at the same time, it's a skirmisher game, and I was like, I'm not a big skirmisher type of player. So this was the people who made Crisis Protocol started making a board game version of Crisis Protocol called Alliances, and they're going to adapt a lot of Crisis Protocol into Alliances. This was just their first one, and of course, it's Spider-Man because people like Spider-Man. So this one's going to be Night of the Goblin, where you have to take on the Green Goblin. Mike over at One Stop Co-op Shop released a video of how to play this game, and he does a playthrough of it so you can see how it plays. So if you're curious of that, go check that out and see how that goes. You do have to put these minis together. They come, those snap tight ones for you to put together, but it sounds like some parts of them are not as tight fitting as they work, so you might have to glue some pieces. So I'd say if you're, I plan to play this. I do plan to play this. I'm curious to see. This is the only one I purchased where I'm like, I really hope I like it. Like, I don't know if it's worth the cost. I watched Mike's play and I was like, it's okay, but I want to play it for myself to see if it lands, right? If it's going to be the type of game that I want to play. And if it is, this is my introduction into the world of Crisis Protocol. I'm not going to get Crisis Protocol. I'll get more of these Alliances games as they're released, if I like this one, right? So we'll see how that plays out in the long run. I also picked up Forbidden Legacy. This is a game that I do want to play with Mark when we play our games. But basically, if you played things like Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Jungle, this is the legacy version of those games. So you will compete, you will not compete, you will cooperatively play together to go through a campaign of the Forbidden games, or the Forbidden game, to get to the end game and get to your objective. So think of it. I'm not gonna say that it's like it. I haven't played it enough to say it's like any other game. It's like the Forbidden games, right? Forbidden Island, Desert, and Jungle. However, just like how Pandemic has Pandemic and then it has Pandemic Season 0, 1, 2, 1 and 2, think of it like like that style, where it's kind of, okay, it's Forbidden, it's the Forbidden series, but now with that legacy aspect to it. And yeah, so I'm curious to see how this will play, and I'll be playing this with Mark. Like you thought of me. Yeah, I purchased it. I was like, this will be a good game for us to play. My next purchase, of course, was Boss Fighters QR. My son loved it, so I immediately got it. I didn't pick it up at GenCon, which, because it was the last day and that was when they played it, he said he loved it, or else, oh, Forbidden Sky. Yeah, that's another one. That's a, I didn't pick it up there because if I did, I would have gotten neoprene playmats. I just bought this off of Amazon, and yeah, went there. But my son loves it, so it's an insta buy. I picked up the one character of Dice Throne I don't have, which is the release version of the Mystic Brawler, the Mystic Brawler that I'll be getting. I have everything else. I did a playthrough of the Sun Elf last Thursday, and probably next week I'll do a playthrough of another character from the Vanguard series, to try that out and see how that goes. I love Dice Throne. I hate their I won't say I hate. I'm displeased with how they're handling the card sleeves now. Because that's all I want from them. I don't want the mini, I don't want the acrylic tokens. I can get those later. But I do want the card sleeves because I think they have the best card sleeves in the business. And now, to get the card sleeves, you have to buy these accessory packs that has the mini and the acrylic tokens with it. And I'm like, just give me the card sleeves. That's all I want. But so now I'm just picking up characters and not even doing that anymore because they changed their business model. One of the guys there tried to explain to me how they want to do it, but to me it didn't sit right. It didn't float with what I think it's just a way to get money because people were buying the card sleeves and nothing else, so they're like, let's bundle it in there so we can sell more stuff. Business decision, makes sense. I just don't like it as a consumer. If I was doing that, I would say that's a great business decision. That was a really great business decision, but as a consumer, I don't like it. But I own everything Dice Throne, and they'll be coming out with Dice Throne Nexus, which is the next grouping, and a more sci-fi theme. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully they'll keep going with the Dice Throne Adventure series because I really love the Dice Throne Adventures one-shots and the Portal Crawl stuff. And I was like, if they make it, if they do Dice Throne like where they create some new cards where you can fight anyone in the game. And all they would have to do is create new cards. They don't even have to do new dashboards, just cards. And you fight anyone in the game, like any hero or any villain. That will be my top fighter from now on. And that's what I'll be playing, and I'm good. But I was able to pick up the one missing character I had. Dice Throne lost me a while ago. Too much money, and I don't love the game enough for that price point. That makes sense. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I like it a lot, but that's fair. I totally get that. And then the last thing I bought, because I was a good person and go crazy with buying stuff, was I got the Monument Hobbies speed paints. So Pro Acryl, which Monument Hobbies has created these really, like, you get more paint than any other company I've seen in one of their tubes. So one of their things are really thick. And when I used to paint before speed paints, I would have to apply more than one coat to a paint. With the Pro Acryl paints, I only had to apply one coat and it was done. So it was fantastic. And then speed paints came out, and I was fine using speed paints, but only Army Painter had the best ones that to make use of. Until now, Pro Acryl created these one-step set ones and set twos. I'm only showing you the set ones now here, but they've so far released 2 of the series for speed paints, and I went and picked up both of them. So now I have the set ones and set twos for their speed paints, which is just a set of colors, and they'll be releasing more and more as they test it out and make sure that those things work the way they want them to. And yeah, so I picked up those, and I'll be adding those to my speed paint set. And I like Pro Acryl. I think Monument Hobbies is really stepping up in terms of paint quality if you paint minis, and it's great. I liked all the demo footage from GenCon, but already pre-ordered anything relevant aside from some of those weird small cards that don't know the legs on. Yeah. So I got those. Okay. That's overall GenCon, great success. I really enjoyed how that stuff played out. Hey Dan, I talked about you a bunch. You missed a ton. But yeah, so overall, great stuff, fantastic, and it was a great time to have. I am definitely wanting to go back next year. I think I think it was a fun time. The people I hung out with, the people I got to see, everyone who said hi, was fantastic. But we're here for what I'm going to be giving away, right? One thing I purchased specifically to give away, and then the other things were everything else is promos, right? So I'll be giving away a ton of promos as well. All right, let me see how I can do this and get down to the table. Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to do. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird. This is gonna be weird. I need to do this, and then I need to do this, and then. And then, no, and then. Is this the one? No, that's not it. Ah, there I am. Hey! All right. So the big one that I got here was this one. So I got this Children of Blood. This is unopened expansion for Arkham Horror. This is the small campaign expansion that was at GenCon. I'm going to be giving this away, and I'll put the thing for people who are interested in there. So this is the giveaway. I'll be giving away promos, all the promos for Marvel United, which is Mr. Sinister Hero, Juggernaut Hero, Deadpool Hero, and Grey Hulk. So these cards will be in part of the giveaway. I'll be giving away all of the Marvel United Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards because I got a second copy, so I didn't need this one. So this is everything for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one that was out there for those who are interested in that for Marvel United. Then I also have the Arkham Horror special ones that came out the year that I did go, which was these are the special cards for all the masks for people who are interested. Come on, get back in there. That this year's this is a fan printing. This is a fan printing of it. This year, Arkham Horror also released these card styles that are here. So let me kind of show these off a little bit. So these wonderful card styles of Cosmic Flame, which has this lovely little art on it. Dorothy Simmons, which has this set here. Right tool for the job. So these wonderful sticky fingers, which is on here as a talent that you can have for yours, and timely intervention. So these are the ones that I'll be giving these away as well. So these are going to be part of the giveaway. So those will be there. These ones that are here are specialty ones. So you'll have, and let me fix this so it's not doing that lens breathing stuff going on. One sec. Let me fix this so you can read that while I fix this. Okay, all fixed. So it has Sparrow Mask. It has all these lovely like frills around it with the roses and all that. It's got Mouse Mask, Wolf Mask, Fox Mask, and Cat Mask. And it's set that's there. So there's those. That'll be in the giveaway. And there's also this year's stuff as well. And these cards are pretty cool. Servant of the Flame. Look how they have look how they switched all this up. So there's the enemy. There's damage, sanity damage, and victory points if you beat them. Hunter Retaliate. Got 5 times the number of players. 4 fight, 4 evade. Forced. When Servant of Flame is defeated, that fun stuff happens. So there's that. There is Elikos. So this is an ancient one. A Flora ancient one. And notice how they like broke up all this other stuff to make it look really cool. So it says this is a boss, of course. And so if you play with this specific, if you play with that Children of Blood expansion, this stuff can get added in for that, which is fantastic. And then we have Herald of Flame, which is pretty darn cool. So these are all promos, all there for stuff that's going to be given away. So all this is getting given away. Plus, there is an artist on Etsy. Yogi knows her well. And I got a specialized card for her because I was promoting her for a while. And she got me the specialized card. So what she does is she redoes all the art for something and then kind of redoes the card. As you can see, only 5 of these cards she's ever made. Only 5 of them, and then that's it. Right? That's all of that print run. So this was the last card in that print run. But her artwork on these cards are gorgeous. Like, they are so beautiful. I need to put a link to, I will put a link to her page, her Etsy page in the description. But she redid almost all the characters. Actually, we could go look at some of this. Let me pull up her Etsy page so you can see like some of the art that she's done. But she's redone a lot of the characters. Let's go to Etsy. I never know how to pronounce her name. I never know how to pronounce her name. So I always feel bad whenever like I talk to her and say, hey, I love the stuff that you've done. I want to help promote. I don't know how to pronounce your name. So let's see. Let me pull hers up. Here she is. Here she is. And let's go to her page. All right. And then I will pull this up here. Here it is. All right. This is her page, right? So she's done some 18+ work if you choose to want to get those, because those are new. But the stuff that she's done in terms of the investigator packs. So you can see, let me see if I can pull these up here so you can see. So this is her rendition of Dexter Drake. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, this is her. I'm not going to click on any of those. I'm just clicking on the character ones. I didn't know that she did the other ones, but this is her Dexter Drake character card. Isabella Barnes. So she redoes all the characters, all the investigators, and she redrew a ton of them into these different cards as well. So you can see Daniela Reyes, which is there, Joe Diamond, Trish Scarborough, and all of them are there. Let me see if I can avoid I did not know she did those. Where are some of the, oh my gosh, she did a lot of them. Good grief, lady. Yeah, this is her subject 80, her subject, the slime, right? That looks really, really good. And you'll see like the different card types that she does. Susie, yes. So Reality Acid artwork that she did to just kind of showcase a lot of this stuff. So you see that her name's on there as the illustrator, which is on there. But she does a lot of really great work. Like these are the different masks she did. When she did, you know, like the stuff I just showed you of the fox mask. This is her fox mask. So it, like I said, she just did it in kind of her version. And I believe she had gotten, when she first started, there was a discussion that was had between her and FFG, because I think someone like reported her to FFG, and she talked to FFG about it, and they okayed it. So she's selling all this fun stuff for people to grab and go. And she's selling sets of things, which is pretty cool for people to check out. I think her artwork looks great. I mean, freaking look at Maria. Look at Maria. The artwork is just stunning of what she's done for this stuff. It just looks fantastic. Like the artwork just looks so great. How she has everything lined up and everything spelled out. So if you want to bling out your game, there's one. But she sent me one. She sent me one of those as kind of thanks. So this will be, because I don't have Arkham, and due to our friend passing, I'm planning to get back to it, but just I kind of need some time to get back to it. So basically how we're going to run this is we're going to do the giveaway this way. We're going to do this one first, and that will be coupled with that guy. All right. Then I'm going to do the rest of these three will be in its own. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's it. That's it. That's the giveaway. Now I'm going to post in the link. We're going to start off with these here. Right, this set. I'm going to post a link in the chat. You go there. You have to accept it because you're paying for shipping. The game's free, but you're going to pay for shipping. And do not sign up if you're not going to get it, right? The reason why I say that's because I've done giveaways before in the past, and someone would win, and then they'll be like, oh, I don't want that. Then why did you sign up for it? Why did you say you want it? Were you just checking boxes to say that's the thing? If you don't want it, don't sign up for it, because it's annoying. 2, when I send you you'll fill out and send your email. When I send you your email, you respond with acknowledgement. Then I will and with your address, and then I'll send you the invoice. You pay it, and then I'll ship off your stuff. That's how it goes. And I try to do those turnaround things like in a day. So I'll get from today, I will send out the emails, get the responses, and then send out, and tomorrow I'll send out the invoices, and once those are paid, I mail your stuff off. So I'm looking to mail your stuff off either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week if you win. Do not sign up for it if you don't want it. All right, so let me grab the link and I will paste it in the chat. It's published. Grab link. Give me a link. Give me a link. Oh yeah, this is happening now. This is happening. Not now, but right now. Alright, I'm gonna... Oh, here it is. Here it is. Copy responder link. Shorten the URL. Copy. Got it. Okay, here is the link for the... This is for the... No, this, I'll be... Yes, it'll be a separate link. Each one will be a separate link, Beth. Yes. So this one is for the cat mask, the special one from Etsy, and this lovely... These as well, because these are actually pretty cool. So that's what this will be for. Honestly, if Kate was still with us, I'd probably send her these. But I've already sent her... I had sent her one of those and got an extra. So that's what this one's for people who want to sign up. If you can go there, you have to accept the rules, put your name, and put your email address. That's all on there. So hopefully that will get you to the form, and you can fill that out if you're interested. Okay, I'm seeing people's stuff coming in now. And I'm going to drink some water while I wait for y'all to fill that out. And then we'll go to the table and see who won. I'll give it a little bit of time. Any questions? So because this is also the 4,000 sub stream, I'm open to questions. So while that's being filled out, do y'all have any questions that you want me to answer? Or that you want to know? This is the only one I want. Yeah, any questions at all that you have, just put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer. Just put question in front of it. Like say question, colon, and then write your question so it stands out. And I will do that. Do you have any channel plans for the upcoming year? Play more board games. In terms of new things for the channel, play more board games. I'd probably say in the upcoming weeks or the upcoming months, it's going to be kind of weird because I actually have to move out. Not for any reason other than the builder of this house did such a piss poor job of building in this neighborhood that the foundation settling has caused the floors to... because they didn't take care of things the way that they should have. So now it's on the builder's responsibility to fix the flooring issue. But in doing so, I have to move out of my house for 2 weeks while they fix their mistake. So in that time, I won't be streaming. But other than that, playing more games, Mark and I have pretty much turned Saturdays into board game Saturdays. Pac-Man's going to be out for a while. I'll say indefinitely, only because he is becoming a daddy times 2. So he is going to be out for a while. He said that he still wants to play, but he just doesn't know when he'll get back. And it may be one-shots here and there if he's able to, but that's still not going to be for months. So Thursdays are going to kind of go back to me playing games, and it won't be at 9 p.m. It'll be at 6. So I'll find some... I have games I can play during that time. I'm happy for him. It's kind of one of those bittersweets. I'm super happy for him becoming a parent's awesome if that's something you're interested in doing. And so I'll miss him, but at the same time, I'm super happy that he's expanding his family and having a good time. So Tuesdays, as we're winding down the Marvel United stuff, I'll try to find another quick to play game to get to the table. It takes about 30 minutes, and that will we'll do Tuesdays, that Tuesday lunchtime streams that way. Tuesday evenings stays the same, playing more board games. So it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and then Sundays. And those will be my streaming days. So that's the plan. Did I just hear 2-week Florida vacation? Chris, I would not step foot in Florida if held at gunpoint. I would take the bullet. I am done with the state of Florida. I am done. I am not going. I lived in Florida for a very long time. I'm done with it. I'm not going back there. Sorry. Sorry. Nope. 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 Question: what about the food in the event and outside? Ooh, great question. Great question. The food. I hate the food was okay. Um, my son and I went to the trucks. It's the same food that's always there. There was nothing new or distinguishing. A lot of people went to like there was a noodle place that people loved. I wanted to try it out, but the line was too long. But I think I got a pulled pork sandwich when I was there, but the vendor trucks were good. They were local. They were definitely all local businesses. All of them were pretty cool people, and the food was about the same as it is every year. And so it was good for a con, I guess. Is it something that I'd be like, oh yeah, let me go do this every week? Probably not. But it was good for a convention. It was good food for the convention hall. For the convention. So that was good. But overall, I didn't try the beer of the con thing. I think I'd done it last year. I'm not a beer guy. I'm more of a whiskey and bourbon dude, right? I like whiskey and bourbon, but I don't like beer. So that stuff is lost on me, I guess. I tried it, it tasted okay, but I just didn't try it this year. Um I'm trying to think of if there's anything else special about the food. Not really, because we had food at the Airbnb. We went. Oh, I didn't tell you all about that. Speaking of food, thank you. That as I'm thinking about it, it clicks back in my head. So when the Saturday evening, when we left the convention, we left as the rains were starting, which means that where it started leaking in the hall, we weren't there for that, but we heard about it. But we left as it was starting to rain. We had to drive because traffic was a lot slower due to how heavy and dense the rain was. It took us about 38 minutes to get back to the side of town with the Airbnb, and we took everybody's order because we wanted Chick-fil-A, right? I think we had started talking about Chick-fil-A and everybody wanted Chick-fil-A. So Steve, myself, and my son drove to pick up Chick-fil-A for the entire Airbnb, and we're in the parking lot, and all of a sudden we start hearing sirens going off. And for me, who is not a Midwesterner, sirens mean danger. And it was the tornado siren that was going off, and it kept going off and off and off. And I think it was Steve looked on his app, and it was a tornado warning that was going on. Not one-sided. I think it was just one could happen at any time. And we're stuck in the line of the Chick-fil-A. It is pouring down rain like crazy, and these sirens are going off. And there's this one guy in the line. So, however, this Chick-fil-A did their pickup area. They did. Let me see if I could do this properly. So here is the thing to pick up your order. Here is where they do the order, and underneath from here to here is cover, right? This is cover from the rain, cover from the weather. It's about this long, and it's cover, so cars can pull up, they can get their food and line up, and then get their food and pull off. And it's long enough that you can fit 8 cars in there. So 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, and it's that long. This one guy stops right here. He stops here. Actually, yeah, here. And he will not move. He won't move. Every other car is waiting, and the line's backing up, and the siren's going off, and the guy just stays there waiting for his food. He will not pull up. And the whole time we're like, what the hell is going on? Like, what's wrong with this dude? He stayed there for probably like 15 minutes. Just not moving. And then as soon as he got his food and left, all the other cars were able to pull up in and Park. Like the sheer unawareness of people drives me nuts. It's like great thinking about yourself and not being able to look at outside yourself at others. Good job. I hope you live forever. So it's just anyway, that was interesting. And then we heard about when we got back to the Airbnb, I think that's when Jess and Dan told us about the rain pouring into the hall. But they did have like a fire sale on ruined board games for people who wanted to get them. So that worked out. All right, cool. So it looks like we got 6 people interested in this. So we're going to go ahead and close this bad boy. Let's see. How do we stop it? There's a way to stop responses. This one. There it is. All right, shut it down. We are closed. The form is no longer accepting visitors. All right, so let me grab all the names. 6 people, huh? It's gonna be good. And let's go to my spin wheel thingy. Actually, I could roll a d6. There's 6 people. Y'all want me to roll a die? Yeah, I'm gonna roll a die for it. Now that you brought that up, let's do that. All right, 6 people. We're gonna roll a die. This lovely dice tray was created by King's Queens Woodworking. King's Queens Woodworking, creating woodworking things to your type and liking. Make me a 1. Make me a 1. So I'm gonna grab 6 people. D6. D6er. There we go. D6. All right. And I am going to export this into a spreadsheet so that we have the names and the times. Okay, so let's link to sheets. Great. Great. It's great. All right. And then we're going to go away. I got it. Go away. Copy these. Oop, nope. I need copy names. Copy names. And add a new sheet and paste the names. Okay. Of our 6, we have Pickles 1. Pickle is number 1. I randomized it. I did just randomize it. So Pickle's gonna be number 1, Greg 2, Yogi 3, Mike 4, Beth 5, and Adam 6. Alright? So you have your numbers. Grass Pickle. You know what? The faith in me hurts. I'm going to be like Dan said. I'm going to believe that I'm going to roll well. I don't know what well means. All right, so Pickle 1, Greg 2, Yogi 3, Mike 4, Beth 5, and Adam 6. Have your numbers ready, all right? I'm going to spin it up, give it a roll. May the fortune forever be in your favor. Congratulations, Pickle! Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, so Pickle will win these. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, that is awesome. That is hilarious. So if I have to roll, everyone's banking on 1. All right, so let's go with he won the this is the hand drawn set. Oh my gosh, that is funny. That is so funny. I should not be allowed to roll dice. I should ask my son come in here and do this because, good lord. Let's see. All right, let me clear this one and do the next. So the next will be for the the Marvel United promos. These are all the Marvel United promos. So if you have Marvel United and you didn't go to Gen Con or you didn't get the Come On stuff, there you go. Let me do these. Oh, that is so funny. That's so funny. Ah, oh boy. Okay. Let's clear this stuff out. So there's a way to clear, delete all responses. There it is. Okay. And then publish the form. Short the link, copy. Okay. This is for Mr. Sinister, Juggernaut, the Deadpool hero, and the Gray Hulk ones. And as you can see, they're in real. I always keep my cards in really great shape. So if that's something you're interested in, there they are. Uh-oh, YouTube is not. Is something going on with my video? Can y'all hear me okay? YouTube's being weird. Let me refresh this. Connect your encoder error. It's been laggy. Yeah, it's saying YouTube's is not receiving. It's being weird. Okay. 1 second. I'll leave that up. 1 second. Let me stop the stream and then I'll start it back again without canceling on YouTube and see if the connection happens that way. 1 second. Be right back. Okay. Let's see what happens here. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you how is it now? Am I good? Am I solid? This is too freaking funny. This is funny. I'm live. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, it was acting weird and then I just stopped and started again and it was fine. That was funny. Oh. All good. I noticed a similar blip in your Vampire Survivor stream. Really? You know what it is? I know what's happening. My son's playing freaking Fortnite. He's probably chewing up the bandwidth. Just blame the foundation. The second one or the first one? Yeah, so there you go. I put that out there and I opened it up to responses, I believe. Yes, it's accepting responses. So anyone interested, let me know. If not, and I don't get any bites on these, that's perfectly fine too. I'll probably end up just kind of like donating these somewhere. So it's no harm, no foul if no one's interested in this one. But yeah, I'm not seeing any responses so far. I don't feel bad if there aren't any. I'm just not seeing any. People don't want the Marvel United stuff, huh? Aw. That's sad face. Any other questions, though, while we give them a little bit of time? Because I don't want someone filling it out and I cut it off and be like, oh, well, too bad. I don't play any of those games. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, worst case scenario, nobody gets them, and then I will just, I'll donate them somewhere. Did you check out the KDM booth? Yes. Yes, I did. I did check out the KDM booth. They had it was more of a display than a booth. Like, more of a display than a booth. The display of that stuff was, I don't understand how, not I don't understand because that sounds negative. I am amazed at the design of how people think of those designs for monsters for Kingdom Death Monster. They are incredible. Like, I don't think I've seen anyone, I don't think I've played a single game that can top the imaginative genius of those monsters in KDM. Like, I don't think I have. I love Primal. Primal's pretty, but Primal doesn't pales in comparison to the type of, like, the monsters, the imaginative monsters of that game. Like, is there just a group of people who are smoking something and mixing animals together to come up with what that stuff looks like? Like, it was the outside booth. So there was the outside where they had all these different minis that were there. Some of them were painted, some of them weren't. But of course, they had the Phoenix. They had the weird baby nightmare fuel baby that's like has one of those little anglerfish bobbers in front of it. No, you can't. You have to play with 4 characters on KDM. You could solo it if you could play with 4 characters, but you can't play true solo. There was the tree. There was, and then there was a bunch of new monsters, and it was just all the different variants of these different monsters that you see, that you've seen. I'm like, this person either is on something, I'm terrified to see the type of nightmares that they have, or they might be a serial killer. Like, the stuff that this person, that whoever the artists, plural, are that come up with for KDM is beyond anything I can imagine. Like, they're beautiful. They are terrifyingly beautiful. They are well sculpted. They are gorgeous to look at, but man, they're nightmare fuel. They are nightmare fuel. But they are gorgeous. They were selling copies of KDM. I think they had the Gambler's Chest there early on the sell. But the line to the KDM booth span, like, it went far. There was no way I was getting in that line. There was no way I was getting in that line. There was also a line for signing for Dungeon Crawler Carl. Mike Dinneman and the narrator. His name just went out of my head. His name just Hayes. Something Hayes. Did they have anyone for demo or just screaming God? Nothing was there for demo. It was just look at and buy. So there wasn't any that's so scream. There were Jeff Hayes. Thank you, Jeff Hayes. Yeah, so they even their line for autographs was on par with the KDM line. So the two lines probably actually met at the back of the hall. But both of them had really long lines, and I wasn't going to stand in any of them, so I just kind of passed by and look at stuff in the hall as we walked through. Yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl, they did both of the, I saw both of them there. Matt Dinneman and Jeff Hayes. I saw both of them there. They were signing autographs, so there was a long line for that. And then on Saturday, they gathered everyone in Victory, on the Victory Field, right? That's a baseball field. And they gathered a bunch of people who paid money to do that together to take like a large group photo with them. But from what I heard, everyone who did stand in line and was able to get an autograph said that they were both very nice. They were both very cool people, and that he was doing voices. Like, all of them loved Donut, so I think he did a lot of Donut voices. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to see that. In the con, walking down the hall, walking down the rooms, one of the things that my son, funny enough, I don't get into TCGs, but my son was like, hey, he saw the sign for Naruto, and they're releasing a new Naruto TCG. Um, and so he wanted to check it out, and it looks like they were just. I thought that they were releasing it at GenCon, but it was just they were just bringing like 6 cards to show, which were the Naruto, Sasuke, the typicals that were on there, and they were just showing that, and then but they're not releasing the game until next year, which I was like, oh, because my son said, hey, get that and we can play that together. So I was like, okay, well, I'm never going to play Magic, but my son wants to play Naruto, so I'll get Naruto. So it may be that next year when that stuff starts dropping, I start that TCG cycle because my son wants to play. And if he wants to play a board game, I'm in. And that's how it is. All right, so it looks like no one wants these, which is fine. I will donate these. So let me put this in my donation pile. No harm, no foul. Let's do. Trust me, I ain't mad about it. I just need them out of my house. Next, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, since no one went for that one, use the same link, and I'll repost it here. You can use the same link. Shorten copy, and I'll post it in the chat again. There you go. So this is for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff. Yeah, Jess, if you're the only one that wants it, hey, sign up for it. But if you're the only one that wants it, that's the easy way for you to win it if nobody else wants it. But all the TMNT stuff right here for you. Boop. For those who want that. Yeah. I think I still cannot believe I rolled a 1. What did it happen again? It went to a 2. Is the next one going to be a 3? A 5. Oh. 1. That is funny. That is funny. My life, my God. All right. Let's see. Any other questions that y'all have as we wait for the sign up? And it looks like 2 people did. Oh, this is gonna be funny. Yeah. Any other in terms of games that are going to be coming to the channel? Earthborn Rangers, right? The Shadow of the Storms had come out, so I'm curious to play about that. Yeah, I'll read that one in a second. What do you mean you can't believe you rolled a 1? You can't roll a 1 on card. So, I plan to play Earthborn Rangers Shadow of the Storm because I love Earthborn Rangers. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think the game's great. I think the game's fantastic. It plays so well solo. So I'll be playing that. More dice thrown for sure. Hexplore It. I'm going back to Domain of Mirrors and Noctis to do a play of that. And then I'll be moving on to Towers of Godai because we're going to play all of Hexplore It, right? And then I'm going to try to find a way to play the one-offs. They're supposed to have a campaign coming for their one-shot ones as well. If you're a patron, you have access to them now, but you have to print the cards yourself, and I'm like, screw that noise. When they come out with all of it together, Jonathan, when you do that, you've got a backer in me. I'll be playing that. Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era is going to come to the channel. The Anarchy is going to be coming to the channel. For people who don't know, I like Hadrian's Wall. Well, the Anarchy is the next iteration of that. More Zombicide. Playing through that because that's all painted. Cthulhu Death May Die will be coming when Wave 2 of Lands of Evershade releases. Mark and I will be back to playing more Lands of Evershade with new characters. Ashes. I haven't played Ashes in forever, and I want to get back to that game, so Ashes will be the game I get back to. And we'll see how that goes. What else? And then, of course, Crisis Protocol, Forbidden Legacy. I got something weird happened the other day. Like, I got a game in the mail. Like, I didn't ask for it. I didn't back it. It just arrived. And I know I didn't back it because my backer name is different, right? When I back a game, my name is different. And it arrived with Derek. So it's like, do you know where I live? That's the first thing that came up. And 2, who are you to send me this game? But it's a 1 to 2 player game. It's called... Oh, God, I can't even pronounce the damn word. Let's see if I can find it. Etonok Vanguard? I don't know if any of you have heard of this game. Is it Ito or Equa? E-T, that looks like an O, and a K, but it might be a Q. Yeah, it's this game. Let me see if I can pull this up. See if I can pull this up here. It's this game. I didn't pledge it. I didn't back it. Yeah, I didn't back it or anything, but it's a solo co-op sci-fi roguelite game. Plays 45-60 minutes. I'm assuming the publisher was like, send this guy a thing. But how do you know my address? You scare me, sir. Don't look in my window at night. Yeah, so it's like an abandoned edge of space. The Chaos Sphere has been a lawless zone, a graveyard-ridden opportunity. It says I've been dreaming of this game, I assume, because it seems to be pointed at me since you're arriving. 1 to 2 players, pick your ship, embark on missions, recruit mercenaries, equip new weapons, and get ready to face Inferno. Sure. You want to tell me a little bit more about your game? No? Yeah. Yeah. It funded? I don't know what to say about it. View the crowdfunding summary. View original campaign. Alright, maybe this might show more, maybe? It's still sealed because I'm like, so I'm assuming there are attack zones on it. And there are attacks, so you can buy weapons to build those up. You get crew, and when you attack ships, it bumps against your ships, like you see here, and you have to defeat them before they kill you. I will try it, but I have questions more than I have questions more than anything, and there are bosses for you to fight. Yeah. Oh. I will try it. They even have videos on how to play the game, so... They sent me that stuff. Alright, 2 people signed up. Jess and Chris. Jess and Chris signed up for this. Alright, Jess and Chris. What do y'all want me to do? Do you want me to roll a die in odds and evens? I think that's the way to go. So, we will say Chris's odds and Jess's evens. Yeah? Yeah? That way, I mean, you know, I will not roll a 1. I will guarantee I will not roll a 1, Jess. I guarantee it. I'm putting it out there. So Chris is odd, Jess is even. Here we go. Congratulations, Chris. just threw that dice away. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just threw that dice away. Oh my god. I just threw it away. It's gone. It's gone. I'm not using that dice ever again. Ever again. Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Alright, how about you? How do you roll? You gave me a 4, a 3, a 1, and a 4. Alright, you're a little bit more fair. Okay. Alright. Let's reset the... Let me... before you start clicking stuff, you won't get in if you put it in right now. Let me close the responses for this. And then I will... I gotta delete responses. You freaking kidding me. I promise you I'm not rolling for this one. For how many ever people who are going to put in there, I will not roll for this one. I'm going to go to the wheel. Oh, come on. Where's the delete? I saw it the other day. Edit. No. I saw it just now. Manage. Responses. Oh, here it is. Delete responses. All right. Here we go. And then make it available. Copy responder link. Copy. All right. This one, I'm going to set up the wheel. I'm not rolling dice for this. This is for Children of Blood and the promos that came with that's coming with it for people to get. There's no way that what? Somewhere in the world, somewhere in this blue dot that we have on this planet, someone is rolling natural 20s constantly. Someone. It should be accepting stuff. I told it to. Oh, sorry. Now you can do it. Now you can do it. You can sign up for it now. Yep, try it now, Beth. Try it now. I just saw that because I saw the thing saying it's not accepting. If you refresh, you should be able to do it now. Oh my gosh. Whoo. Let me pull up the roller. I should just stop. Prize wheel generator. There it is. Rando, and there it is. We will be using the prize wheel for this. That's what we will be doing. And yeah, I hear you. You're trying to chew up my bandwidth. Get the hell out of here with that. Close that. We will put it in here. This browser. That should block all the garbage. And minimize this. All right, there we go. We're all set and ready. Ooh, only one person. Ah, that person might win it by default. You're gonna spin a 1. Yeah, only one person's put in for it so far, so that person might win by default and I don't spin anything. So, any other questions? Let's see, I talked about what's coming for the channel. I talked about GenCon. Co-op chat's always fantastic. I love chatting with Barrett and Steve. I wish we could all play some more board games together, so I probably need to try to find a time to go out there and visit them again. So that's a 1 by default. Then I should definitely roll for it. It won't be a 1, it'll be like a 4. Yeah, a lot. I mean, I always try to improve the channel. I know that as of late, things have been a little stagnant in terms of new improving things going, but overall, I think it's been moving in a good direction. People seem to like 4,000 of you seem to like what I'm doing, so I appreciate that, and I am thankful for that. Are there games that what do we see? Beth asks, "Have you played all the Kingdom Legacy expansions?" No, no, not yet. I've actually just played what I streamed, and I need to get back to it because that is a fun game. But I'd like to. Did you back Wyvern more? No, and not because I didn't want to, but I think I'm on their distributor list, so I might be getting a copy. So I didn't back that one. No, because I think I might be getting a copy. And Tristan has a lot of my money anyway, so I've bought a lot of things from him. So no, but I think I'm on their distributor, their like list of people to send stuff to, and so I might be getting it. But I encourage people to back it because the system's just fun. If you've not played Krill Manor, it's a lot of fun. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else. Any other questions at all? Otherwise, this one person's gonna win. And I think that one person might be Beth. It is Beth. Yeah, any other questions at all? There is something that I'm looking for. I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for a game. I want the game to be what I backed. I have backed I did back one game. I backed Cult of the Lamb. For people who are curious about that one. I did back that game. Only because I know the IP. Once again, this is me saying, hey, I know the IP. It might be fun. I think that's on Kickstarter, not GameFound. I don't even go to Kickstarter that much anymore. That's wild. I think I go to GameFound mostly. Because Wyvern Moore is on GameFound as well. But Cult of the Lamb. Yeah, here it is. That game's super funded. Which is this guy. So I did back Cult of the Lamb, and if you've never played the IP, you are sheep. This game is very aware, and you are the leader of a cult, and you are trying to recruit people to the cult and defeat monsters to raise the notoriety of the cult. Which is fantastic. I love that it says 10 years old and it's someone with a walker. So this one I think will be a really fun game, only because it's like you start off, you go out and you fight monsters, and at a certain point you'll be able to return to your base over here and build your base up to give you more abilities and more stuff for you to go out and fight more monsters. So, and you can recruit cultists, and those cultists that you can recruit people to your cult to build things up. Now, yeah, you go on crusades. It's a worker placement game. It's a base building game. So these three aspects of it is what really highlighted it for me. I don't care about that. Hey, back now, get a gold coin. Who cares? The pledge over time thing, I think, is a new addition to kind of help people who can't buy the game outright to build that stuff up. And of course, you see people who've covered the game before what you get in your game, but I want to get down to I love that they did this too. It's just funny. Call everybody sheep. It's just very aware. It's hilarious. Yeah, so you embark on a crusade. You could do it. It's a competitive game, but you can play it true solo. You go, you reveal stuff, you fight monsters, you fight with the dice that you have based on what you're taking off, if you defeat them or not. And then you return to your cult where you can get people base build, and these are your cult members that you can get, which is fantastic. Like they can get halos because you can kill them, you can sacrifice them, and they'll be stronger for the cult. You get to fight bishops who are bosses that you take on, which is great. And your job is to build the greatest cult out there. Retail, because it says it's coming to retail for people who are like, I don't want to back anything on crowdfunding. I'm kind of done with it and sick of it. There is a retail basic version that will come out that will go to retail that you can get, right? I mean, the Kickstarter exclusive stuff won't be in there, but at that point you don't care, right? At that point, if you're saying I will wait for it to go to retail, you have no interest in the crowdfunding exclusives. So it doesn't, anything that says Kickstarter exclusive, you don't care, so it doesn't pertain to you. But it looks like it's about $81 for all that. You'll get the followers that you can get as standees, and it'll just be standees that you get like this, that you can build those. And the profits, the profits are here, which are you are the profits, and the all these will be punchboard stuff. You will then get your boss board, the dungeon boards that you'll be going on, the base building stuff, the player boards, and this is the market where you can buy stuff like gain more cultists, gain more buildings, things like that to build it out. And then, yeah, this stuff. For people who are backing, this is the one that I went in on, which was just the deluxe, right? I'll tell you why just the deluxe, but the deluxe is basically the all stuff where it gives you the bishop minis, the player minis, and you get these lovely little cute robes that are numbered for your cult, for the people that you recruit. So you put those little like cute robes on them. They get an altar and they get a halo if you kill them off. For each character you get a set of robes that you can put on them, which I thought was cute. You get they come with these heads, these extra heads, right? So instead of just having these, you get some extra ones that you can kind of put into those robes. I just thought that was cute. The marble dice, I'm a sucker for dice, even though I roll terribly. A little bit more shine and polish on the boards that you're gonna get, and then a lovely bag. And then there's this all-in deluxe, which is where I was like, I'm not, no, it's too much, right? These come painted, I believe. These come painted. These come painted. So you don't have to paint them. Mine will be, if you notice in the previous one, it's just these colors, which I'm fine with these colors. That's why I also went with the deluxe. I was like, I don't have to paint them. I'm fine with those colors. But they will now come painted. You'll get a bag. I don't give a crap about no bag. You'll get this dice roller, which is the that lovely thing there. 4 dice trays. I'll get to these in a second. Yes, that's poop. Neoprene mats for what you get to organize your games. And that's kind of like the deluxe all in, and I'm like, I don't need that. I'm good. If I will say that even this, I'm fine without the neoprene for this stuff. Neoprene enemy boards, neoprene playmat, I don't need that. Dice trays, don't need it. A bag, why? I don't care. The acrylic decoration tokens would be cool, but I'm like, nah, I'll stick with that. This I'm considering getting. It's slightly soft silicone poop tokens, because every cult deserves premium fertilizer. So they're the bless droppings. Your cultists will poop blessings upon your they are blessings that you have to take care of. Secret code: eat poop. If you see any other giveaways on social media, this is the code you'll need. You can't buy the poop. You can't buy the poop. So I was like, I might put this on here just because that is hilarious. Pledge over time for people who don't have the funds to be able to pay for the thing up front. There's rule books for people who want to look. They talk about the packaging of everything. This is Terraria's unboxing. But yeah, shipping for people who care about shipping, which everyone should. I mean, my God, if you're in Brazil, if you're in any part that's considered World 2, Mexico or Alaska or Hawaii, yikes. But everyone else, it's still high. Shipping will be, I think that's one of the things that I think also wards people off of crowdfunding is shipping, right? I really want this game, but the shipping's too expensive. And that's fair. Shipping has gotten ridiculous. I don't think it's going to settle for years to come, even after all this foolishness is done and over with. If it's ever done and over with, I don't think that it will settle back into something. Don't do it. Dadgummit. Oh! If you hear that beeping, let me see if it comes through. Yep, if you're hearing that beeping, that's my unit screwing up, so... be right back. I gotta fix this nonsense. I'll be right back and then we'll do the winner of the giveaway. Am I back? Am I back? Can y'all hear me? Chris, that was funny. My internet provider uses the promo code. It's not the internet. I think what happens is they're building like new apartments right behind where I live, and that means they're screwing with power and they're sending these surges. And I think my APS just doesn't know how to handle those surges properly, or it's old, and therefore it just kind of like when a strong enough surge hits it, it starts alerting like oh, the power's out, you're in danger, the power's out, and that's what that beep is. But the problem is that the sequence to stop the noise and say no, everything is fine, is it doesn't work as specifically as strong as it should, and so therefore when I do the sequence, it shuts off everything. And so I have to shut off everything, turn it back on, and then relink back up everything to make sure that it works. All of that to say I need to get a new APS. All that to say that this APS probably needs to get chucked and get a new one. I think I've only had it about 2 years, which is sad. The battery still holds charge. It's just that stupid warning becomes very like the unit that it's made from is sucky to turn off that signaling, so it sucks. Okay. Let's see. Beth, you won. Beth, this is yours. No one else put in for it, so natural one. You won. So I have your information. Like I said, I'll send this off to you, and you won. There you go. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Congrats to all the winners. I am so sorry for my bad dice rolling. Yeah, I am so sorry for all my bad dice rolling. So, Pickle, Beth, and Chris, congratulations. Yeah, and thank you so much for all the love and you all sticking around and hanging out with me and playing board games. Yeah, it's on to the next milestone. Hopefully we can keep pushing as a community and keep building and growing. I would love to get to the level where publishers are interested in working with me on games that they know I enjoy, because I want to be able to bring that stuff to you, but at the same time, yeah, at the same time, Derek, I'm so sorry I messed up. What's the mess up? Oh, did you not want it? Why did you fill it out if you didn't want it? All right. Let's go back. Then why? Why fill it out? All right. I think yeah, I remember that. So for these, I can't. I know Yogi put in for them, but I can't remember who else was interested. Is anyone else interested? Because I know Yogi's on here. So if no one else is interested, I'll give him the Yogi for these ones, which is the cat mask stuff, this timely intervention, or this, and that for those. So let me know if anyone else is. It seems rigged. Yeah. So if I. Yeah, I know that. Well, I know I cleared the form, so it's gone. So I'm like, if anybody else is interested, let me know and we can roll for it. If no one else is interested, that's fine. Yogi goes. I'll let me resubmit the form. How about that? That'll make it fair. I'll re-put the form out there. Those votes were still. Oh, let's not get on that. I'll clear the form and I'll redo it. Delete all responses. Boop. Question. Yeah, short link. Copy. Well, there's the form. So whoever the 5 others were can fill it out. So there's the form. Yeah, that should show up here. Yeah, so there's the form. No, I'm going to roll the wheel. I'm not rolling a die. This will be a wheel roll. So the form is up. If you are interested again in the cat mask, this lovely hand-drawn set of cards, and the special word protection card as well, all bundled together, fill out the form. If you're not, okay. So I was like, don't put your name in if you're not gonna care for the stuff. Okay. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, if you have any. Can you number the wheel? No. That's funny. No. Actually, the wheel will be numbered. Funny enough, the wheel will be numbered because your name will appear on the side. I'll randomize everything on the side, and then I'll roll the wheel. So we'll see how that goes. So far, one person only put in for it, and I'm assuming it's Yogi. Damn, I'm right. That's why I said if anybody's interested. Let's go for 4 ones. Yeah. Yeah, I think the people who will be interested in it now who fill out the second time are people who are serious, because I worry that if I go back in the previous video, if I go back in the previous video, I don't have the email addresses, right, for what was there. And if I go back and I say, oh, you've won, and they'll be like, oh, I don't want that. I'm not going to play that game. I know the people who are filling out now are interested in getting it. And yeah. And I know that they'll do what they got to do. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I there's no reason to scroll back. If they're still in the chat and they're still interested, the form's there for them to fill out. And so far, only one person's done it, which I worry that that's kind of what would have happened. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to, unless y'all have questions. I don't really have much else to run through. Hopefully we'll continue to climb the ladder together, play board games together, have fun together, play more games. I would love to, man. I wish I could be like some of these other content creators that's all that their day is playing board games all day. That sounds lovely. But alas, I didn't win money. I didn't win the lotto. I didn't win the large lottery that was going around, so I continue to work. Yeah, I'm only seeing one entry, so Pickle, boom, yours. If only, right? I know. So Pickle, boom, they're yours. Done and done. Okay. Let's go back to, I gotta hide stuff, show stuff, so I gotta hide me. And then I gotta do this. And then I gotta do this. And there I am. I need to learn to stream because videos aren't for me. That editing is brutal. Yeah, I do live streams. I do some recordings, but the editing is too much for me. If this was a 2-person operation to where I had somebody who was interested in doing editing, then I probably would do more recorded videos, which means more content. But since it's just me, no, it's going to be Yogi. I'm not even going for that with Pickle. Yogi, I have your information, so I'll send you that, and there you go. You got him. All right, cool. So I think that's it. I think that's it for the stream. I had a great Gen Con. I had a great year still yet to go with hanging out with you all and playing board games. There's tons of content that'll come on the channel. I'm here to stay unless, something terrible happens to me. My health has been okay. In terms of the cancer, my PSA numbers are down. They're down. It jumped a whole point, which is pretty cool, but it's still not at 0. So there's no guarantees. I'm still under close watch and supervision for the next 4 years. I still have radiation in me, so it's the cancer cells are still being radiated as we go. I passed the kidney stone. So I've been being very careful. I've been being very careful about what I eat, avoiding things that can cause kidney stones, which unfortunately is a lot of healthy things. Kale, spinach, peanuts, honey. I can't do any of that anymore, which means no candy bars for me anymore because that's the only thing I liked about candy bars was the peanut butter. I'm exercising more. I need to increase it even more, but I'm trying to get a little bit more healthy. So if you look back at my first videos when I was on camera, a lot slimmer than this. So I want to get back down to that slim size. Did you save the stone for Stone Saga? That was a Stone Saga for real. Oh boy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've hit limit. I don't know much else. Thanks again, Derek. Glad to hear the health is good. I told you. I just cleared my final check in June. No more CTs for me. You've got this. You're tough. Yeah, thank you. So I'll be trying to get my sexy back. So trying to lose some weight and get slimmer. I'll grow the beard back. I promise, for people who think I look weird without it. Thank you, all of you, for everything that you bring to the community, to my life, to my mental health, because believe it or not, you do a great deal of that by just being around, by just coming to hang out or chatting with me if you're a member in Discord. You do more than you think. I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm just chatting and that's not a thing, but your chat has your your presence has an impact on me and on others. So don't ever. I think that you all are important. You all are very important to me. You're very important to the people in the world. You've made a mark, not just on anything else. And yeah, I appreciate and love y'all for it. I really do. Um, we'll continue to grow and see how it goes. Thank you so much for getting me to 4,000. I'll still be here playing games, and should we get to 5,000, we'll try to do something a little different, right? I don't think it's a milestone, it's not a goal. So the goal for me is to make friendships, build bonds, and play board games. The what do you call that? The effect of that is the milestone, right? So if people choose to join and never subscribe, as long as you're here and you're hanging out, you're laughing and and smiling, and your day feels lighter, then I've accomplished my goal. I've done what I've set out to do. I've 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 done the content creation that I feel I needed to do. Deadlift 15 glue, I will die. Um yeah, here's to more board games. Here's to the rest of 2026 and beyond. I will be going to Gen Con next year for sure. Um, I believe Colin Barron said that they want to try to go next year, so you'll have them there as well. And I believe Kim and Steve said that they're going to as well. Hopefully, we get another. I'll run some ideas by them to see if we can have a little in between something for a lot of people to go to and enjoy. Best wishes and love. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye, everybody.